Hello and welcome for the first time this evening. My name is Jason. You're watching Happy Jacks RPG. This is session 13 of the Castoffs, an actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can go to happyjacks.org/castoffs, which will have YouTube playlists, podcast stream, not podcat. No,
I mean, there might be podcasts.
Maybe podcast.
podcat's a myth.
Only if you have an
I feel-
experienced podcast.
I feel like I have to dig up the podcast's not real. Podcast can't hurt you. I have to find a picture of podcast.
It's all there. You should check it out. And if you go to happyjacks.org/shows, that's everything that we've done. It's awesome. So I am your GM. We are playing the Quest RPG. We have gone through a whole series of things. I'm not going to recap everything, but last time we did make it back to Creektown. We made it into Spire. Spire, we explored the library and, tried to recruit the sheer cosmic power of the librarians. We also have gone to find the Sailstone Workers Union, which is a fundamental, functional part of the Spire, the city, and the actual export that they primarily live on. So that's just kind of a loose outline of what we've been up to. Third is trying to rid himself of a cursed dagger. It's going fine. And oh my god, Nick, I just blanked on your character name.
Sal.
Sal, the Salamander, the ship, the core element of the show.
It's been a rough night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how my brain works.
It's been 87 years.
We're trying to find out what the other mastheads are doing. One of them was kind of shitty to you.
Yep.
But that's just one. So, trying to figure out if we can reach out and touch someone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go around and say a little bit about our characters, and let's see. Interesting question for this week. Is your character right-handed or left-handed? As in, are they
okay.
good or bad?
Oh,
What?
okay, got you.
This is 1940.
Hi everybody, my name is Joe, and I play Wall. Wall is ambidextrous, so he's good and bad.
Chaotic neutral.
He's a pit fighter, so he had to learn how to fight with both hands if one of his hands gets crippled, so he's ambidextrous.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Courtney Kraft, and as someone who's had fighting training, that's true. They teach you to fight ambidextrously. So that's how I fight. Not that I would, except in LARP. Anyway, I play Third of Fandris, who's generally a pacifist. He just wants to be a bard, but he's the son of a mafioso, and that's just how it is. And he has a cursed dagger that he really wants to get rid of.
What hand does he
Something's
write
weird.
with?
Oh, he's right-handed.
Okay.
Sorry, I completely forgot about that part of the intro.
Hi, I am Pooja, and I am playing Lucky Joshi, literal cat person, and, general hero of her own mind. Like all cats are. Really, it just comes with the territory. And I would say, Lucky was taught to be ambidextrous and whatever using both your feet is. Because
Oh, right.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah.
omni-limbed. Omni-limbed.
Yeah.
Omnidextrous.
Hey everyone, I play Sal, who is an 8-foot animated masthead of the ship Salamander, of the same name. We are one and the same, and indivisible except when we divide. And
Except by 0.
yes,
Never do that.
which is not a thing.
That's their secret.
I'm glad.
And Sal is starboard-handed.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that makes sense.
Nice.
Always have trouble with those port side maneuvers.
Yeah.
That is great. Also, not to make a big deal out of it, but I do want to X-card the word crippled, just for the future going forward. It's can mostly considered a slur, so we'll just skip over that one next time. And let's get back into it, shall we? So, in the library, third, you have been doing some research in how to get rid of your knife, and you actually convinced a librarian, one of the highest known forms of life. But I mean, I think we're all
No, you're
all
good.
in
No,
agreement.
it's just a given thing.
Yeah.
To take you seriously, which must mean something. Okay, aren't you fighting already?
Yep. Are you going to turn this show around?
Yes. We'll play the RPG we have at home.
RPG we have it up as Quest.
I know. So, in your research, you have come across a number of instances. You were particularly looking for instances around gift giving, and you did find mostly my life is over, I've accepted a gift, I shared a meal, this is the last entry, I won't be adding any more to this. There's a lot of them that ended that way. As you were going through and you explained what you were looking for, the librarian was like, oh yeah, just flip to the last entry in all of those. And then you finally dig down to one of these final entries, and it describes the following. They were given a cloak, a hooded cloak, and it whispered to them. It whispered suggestions, and it would help them blend into shadows, and they were able to make moves on their political enemies. And this was some time ago, and you're not even able to determine exactly who this was, but it's some historical figure probably. But they were able to achieve success through this fairy cloak, and it was, or fey cloak, I guess we should say. The account describes a choice that was given when the politician came to some sense of ethical morality, and wanted to undo the deal. And it turned out that they chose not to take so what they discovered was there was the option to give up the cloak or to give it back, ideally destroy it. If one completed a particular ritual, and the ritual is outlined here in the book. But the author said I was not willing to do so because it would immediately earn the unending enmity of the being that granted the object, and they would know immediately what you had done. Now, for this person, they describe having received a gift from a being known only as Green.
Interesting.
What they described as one of the most powerful beings in the Fae. But who knows? I mean, how many have they met? So it may be for third, your gift was from a minor Fae. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe she won't mind. But if you perform this ritual, you should be able to essentially, so the reason why these gifts stick is they are, that Fae is essentially pledging their allegiance to you, right? Now, that's not exactly how the Green worked with this politician, but they are making a promise by giving you this thing, and you, in accepting it, have returned some element of that promise, even if it's unwittingly.
Fealty works both ways.
Yes.
So that's what's laid out. And the politician ultimately didn't make that choice. And finally, in exchange for leaving their family alone, they eventually went into the Fae forever. And that was their final entry was, and it was some stuff about like, and my will is hidden under the third board of my dad, blah, 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 like, here you go. And, but the, according to the librarian, the book is at least 400 or 500 years old.
Let's go to that house. and unearth that board.
Yes, find that one.
Who cares about Spire?
What do you know? Does Jason know what the ritual entails? Or is
Yeah,
that to be said?
yeah. There is is a fair amount. Like a circle has to be drawn, and you have to place the item in it. Step out of the circle, and then light some various like different types of candles and things. Some doodads have to be arranged. Thingamajigs.
How many?
Yeah, that
Very-
like
very-
whatchamacallit.
I've
Yeah.
got 20.
Oh.
Very important technical spell details your primitive
Yes.
mind wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard
Yeah.
to like hold it all or even verbally describe it.
Okay.
But you have it all written down for you there.
Okay,
So
perfect. He will definitely copy that down.
Yep.
And then say, I found what I'm looking for.
This is the new DLC pack that just
Yes.
released this week.
You take the book to the quill machine, and
yeah.
as it traces,
Yeah.
Yes.
makes an exact replica for you.
Only 25 cents.
So do you let the librarian know or like bring them in on or him on any of the conversation there?
No, I think Third will just say, oh, I think I found what I'm looking for. Is it all right if I just copy some of this down? So he'll get a copy of that page, of that entry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
All right then. Now, Sal, you're also in the library.
Yes.
Let's resolve. You were wanting to research Sailstone a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to
So-
see if, since Sailstone is all mined together, if there is a magical confluence where it's all still kind of connected because it all came from the same place.
Okay. Now, did you ever roll for the librarian's help?
No, I just asked, and the librarian said that he would bring me stuff.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I think there was some kind of like the librarian. Oh, it was like the librarian was like, "Oh yeah, we have 1 million texts about that."
Right,
like,
right.
yes, I have everything you could ever want to know. So I think that the librarian brings you like the equivalent of a card catalog, but it's like a index folio, right? Of like, okay, so narrow down your search because there are hundreds of entries, and I'm not going to bring you hundreds of books. So,
Of course.
What
I will do is I will narrow it down to sort of not uses but properties and magical effects. So beyond effects beyond just being able to float ships.
Okay, so the background you're able to find is, and I think this is basically general knowledge as well, is that Sailstone floats by itself, right? And excuse me, hair in my mouth. And actually, very large pieces, if unearthed as a large piece, will float away. So you can get small pieces and just like carry it in your pocket. But if you want to break out a really big piece, you have to find some way to hold it down. It's basically like we would think of it as like anti-gravity. Like
Right.
the bigger it is, it's unheavy. Is how the author describes
Sailstone
it.
miners all have upside down pockets so they
Yes.
can put chunks in there. and
Yeah.
they-
You probably have rigs with nets. To
yeah.
Yeah, all the like mining carts have nets, so they're like re-rigged to be like.
It's like harnessing hot air balloons. Yeah.
It's interesting. People hate bringing the carts into the mines, but they love taking
Yeah.
the carts
Yeah.
out of the mine.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different than
Yeah.
most mining.
So, but that's a passive effect that pretty much everybody knows about Sailstone. With some, there are like regional kind of local myths about what that means or why or exactly how floaty they are.
Right.
But
I just figure that magically contagion is a thing, that two things that are together are never separated.
yeah, I mean that's part of it. Is it if you break it, it's just two smaller pieces that have less oomph, right? But it was found that this in a lot of the drawings of it, you can see it when pieces are calved, you can see there is this like veining that's all through it. And that was a big subject of research in that it allowed like small pieces of this took certain autonomous units and made them more functional. Like they were able to carry out more commands or more complicated commands. And there were just a series of alchemical texts and artificer accounts of how to enhance, like take like a little, like the size of a marble would allow a magic broom to like sweep up several parts of the house but stay out of other parts of the house. So stuff like that. So
Okay.
that's
Like a Broomba.
yeah. I'm sorry, but
All right, that's a season wrap. My
Yeah,
name is Joe Koo. Thank you.
You must take one action point.
Okay.
Then plus one action point. Not spent.
I will take it.
That's you will live with this knowledge.
Once again, Lucky is on the verge of death. Not sure what happened.
So, does that give you some background? Or what you were wanting to know how it could be used, perhaps for longer distance, like communication kind of stuff?
Right.
Okay.
Right. How they all relate? How all the stones relate to each other?
Yeah. There is a resonant frequency that several artificers have noted, and it turns out that when they find veins of floatstone or sailstone, those like the sailstone that came from one particular section has a resonant frequency. Even when you break them apart, they maintain that resonance. But sailstone from different areas, it's slightly different. So that's a component of it as well.
Okay. Like a crystal radio.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. What else can I tell you about it? What do you want to know? You are at the world's foremost expert place to learn about sailstone.
So I want to follow up on the resonant frequencies and what experiments anyone has done with those,
Sure.
if anything, and try and figure out how I can use that myself to reach out to other chunks.
There is one account of an artificer who made a series of copper owls, and very little, what are those? Those aren't barn owls. What are they called? The little, like, full-grown owl is like 6 inches tall.
The pygmy owl?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, they're adorable. But he made like copper or brass, simulacra, and made like a dozen of them and put, the tiniest little, like, more than a grain of sand, but like a tiny little, like
Like
the
a
size,
pebble.
like the size of nerds.
Okay.
But
So
we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What?
A bubo.
A bubo?
Yes, because that is
Oh,
the
the
owl
bubo is the owl.
from Clash of the Titans.
Yes. Yes.
The best little mechanical owl.
Yes. And it will live in my heart forever.
Oh, I thought you meant bubo like the growths from the Black Plague, because those
Nope.
are also lumps that
Oh,
would be,
yucky.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Never mind.
No, the size of nerds.
Okay.
The candy.
Yes.
I mean, nerds come in all sizes.
Yep.
So that artificer from like 100 years ago was able to successfully send these, like, as long as those little owls had power, they could go out, like, he got it to go as far as the Seven Isles, or the Isle of the Seven Queens, and come back, and they could find him. Like, he would send them out to 10 different destinations, and then he would, like, go down the coast or sail away, and they could find him again.
Okay.
With his homing stone. So that's probably the best account of how and there's all the, like, technical data of how that artificer got that to work. It might be something you could use.
Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking of the cool things like the the story of the ship, the ship with sailstone that was lost at sea and didn't have very many of its people left on board, but somehow it was able to find its way back into port.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would be really fun.
Sal's gonna become a Voltron.
I'm here for it.
Damn it!
Spoiler.
Called it.
I gotta figure out a new thing.
Giant wooden sailing ship Voltron.
Yes.
Big badass.
Wall calls left foot.
Speaking of Voltrons, everyone should read the Chilling Effect trilogy by Valerie Valdez.
Oh yeah, I'm halfway through the first book now.
Book 2 is like, it's like the difference between Godfather 1 and Godfather 2.
Oh wow.
It's like that much better.
All right.
And book 1 is good. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Book 3 has nothing in resemblance of Godfather 3.
Okay.
just in case
That's-
people try to
that's where the
extrapolate
comparison
that.
ends.
Like, the comparison ends at 1 and 2, and then book 3 continues to be excellent.
But Sal, notably, there is no specific research about this. There are several mastheads like you in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost a conspicuous gap that there are no scholarly texts on.
I bet there are in one library,
Uh-huh.
but that's not this library.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good guess. That doesn't mean you can't figure out some of that for yourself,
Sure.
but there's a conspicuous sailing company shaped hole.
Right.
Mm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yes, sir.
in the map section,
Mm-hmm.
you had determined that the enemy had worn out a strategy of trying to use thin places,
Yeah.
and has probably moved on to other strategies,
Yes.
which certainly might leave someone thinking, well, what are those?
Right.
There's not a lot, like there's obviously nothing specific, and the history of the Bone Giants nation as a nation they've just become a very like closed off society, and every once in a while you see Bone Giants in the world, but they're not part of the nation anymore. Like maybe they were outcasts or they just left because a lot of the people there suck. But that's that happens. So that is there actually is a note about like in a traveler's guide, because you're looking at all these maps and things like, if you see just like one or two bone giants on the road, they're probably traveling merchants.
Right.
Like you should, don't worry about it, right? But if you see more than two,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably, you should be careful,
Okay.
right? So that's
Okay.
one of the things they wrote about.
Mm.
But I'd like you to roll your die for something.
For something. It
Oh,
is a 1.
Is it really?
It is a 1. It is a natural 1. I did it all by myself.
So,
oh.
100% organic, homegrown 1.
folks listening at home, I'd prepared several stages of like what the news would be if it was a 20, if it was 11 to 9 or 10 to 19, 11 to 19.
11 to 19.
Yeah.
If it was a 6 to 10, 2 to 5, and then I thought, what if it's a 1?
Uh-oh. Give it to me.
This is real knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
This is not me. So sometimes GMs might give out like, well, this is a mistake.
Right,
Like
right.
you've gleaned the wrong knowledge.
Right.
Instead, what I'm giving you is what this news could have been is the worst possible
Perfect.
outcome.
Perfect. Let's have it.
So you realize, you see these maps of where all these Kraken had died,
Yeah.
and then you see like, oh yeah, it's a weird grouping, and you could see, oh yeah, they were figuring out how to create a
Right.
beachhead, and we went over that last time.
Right.
And then you thought, but there should still be an even distribution through the rest of the world. and there's almost none in the rest of the world.
Huh.
Which didn't stand out right away because you were looking at your local area
Right.
and there was this weird pattern to check, and
Right.
and in looking into that a little bit and finding sailing accounts and everything, a lot of sailors are talking about a drop in being able to even find elder kraken anymore. A lot of young kraken are still out there, but nobody's seen an elder kraken in hundreds of years.
Okay.
And it is conspicuous, I think, particularly to Wall. It might not be to anyone else,
Right.
because like, oh yeah, they're mysterious creatures and we just don't know where they are, but they should be on the death map,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Well, they're not. And it seems like the only way that could be accounted for, one, if they were eradicated.
Right.
That seems
Hunted out.
unlikely.
Yeah.
Because also you're learning more about the elder kraken, and they are essentially like the strong and weak nuclear force, gravity, magnetism, and elder kraken
Right.
are what hold the world together.
Yes.
So if they were gone, the world would probably
There
just
would be a
integrate.
huge yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Disruption. Discombobulation.
Yeah.
Is the technical term. So they have to be here somewhere, and for them to not just be evenly distributed around, they must be under someone's control.
Mm.
And we know somebody who likes controlling things.
Flag flexing.
Yep. Exactly. Okay. So I'll leave that there.
One quick question. Would Wall assume this is under Rise, or would Wall think about his brother?
Rise probably doesn't have the capacity to take on something like this. They are a big company, and they're, they have the power of a kingdom, but one kingdom, like one normal kingdom.
Right.
This would take the undertaking of a nation that has spent generations developing necromancers to harness a like core power of the world.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
And that does narrow the field a bit. Rise are their own type of villain, but they're not this villain.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Speaking of, Lucky, you are making your way through the caverns, or the cavernous, offices of the Sailstone Workers Union. And all you know is you are trying to find the office of the interagency liaison, the oil. And you make your way through, as I mentioned, it's this big like wedge-shaped building that's underground, right? You can see the cavern up above. It's like, I think 5 stories, I said, of just offices, and they obviously have other things, like at some point you walk by what is obviously like a daycare, right? And a like healthcare center, and like all kinds of stuff that you would need for a big functioning company like this. And so the workers union has a lot of these things set up that you would need to organize a lot of people and pay them and do what you have to do. And you end up finding the office. You go up some stairs, and on a 3rd floor in a back office somewhere, you find the office of the interagency liaison. And you enter, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like kick the door open, or just open, or like what's the demeanor?
Let's be cool. Don't be suspicious. Don't be
Wraith
suspicious.
form right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Tell me what you know about the cult. No, I'm like, I know. I mean, receptionist just told them I'm coming.
Yeah, and you hear enter from the other side. And when you go through, you find this is not like a receptionist or anything. That this is just like a room about the size of our studio here, maybe like 10 feet, 20 feet square, let's say, a little bit bigger than this, 20 feet square. And just off to one side, there's a whole bunch of filing cabinets. And there's a desk with some writing materials on it and a, artificer's version of a typewriter and, all the accoutrement that you'd have to take care of a lot of paperwork with. And this, I would say, young woman, as in like in her 20s, stands up from her desk and says, "Oh, yes, I was expecting you." She's has very short black hair, dark brown skin, and just comes up to shake your hand and says, "Hi, yeah, this is the right office. Winslet Brenmore." And is sticking out her hand to shake hands with you. Now, her name is triggers a flashback for you. You may recall, you the player may recall, 2 weeks ago, we did a flashback episode. Does the name ring a bell for you?
I didn't actually hear what you said when you said the name.
Yeah.
Like, out of character?
Her name is Winslet Brenmore.
Oh.
And Lucky has a flashback of this irate princeling merchant boy man. "I'm Oramus Brenmore. You can't do this to me. My family of intrepids will hunt you down."
Oh, love it. Love it.
And it's at this point that the now Lucky remembers that entire flashback scene. Visiting the hole in the ocean and the town under the sea and the crashed ship and the stranded Brenmore, a scion of the family that would go on to found the Royal Intrepid Shipping and Exploration Company. So,
Shouldn't have
Of course
rescued him.
they did.
Mhm.
I mean, I seriously doubt that boy is.
and we also know that was some time ago,
Yeah.
right?
And Sal wouldn't exist, so thank you.
So, is it fair to say Lucky was disgusted by Oramus Brenmore?
Very fair to say that Lucky was disgusted by Ormus Brenmore.
Okay. So,
Also, we brought Ormus Brenmore to justice. It's not like we just set him back to his family so that they could not do anything.
obviously. But was in this moment, can Lucky fix her face? Or will she react to Winslet's?
Lucky has like a twitch,
Sure, open.
Okay,
but Lucky does manage to fix her face.
okay,
I rolled for it.
okay.
I got a 14.
Okay.
So that is a success in fixing my face.
I'm gonna see if I can roll over a 14 and see. No, that's a nat one.
It's been going around lately.
You're
Ooh, I'm next.
Yeah.
So you have not offended Winslet Brenmore. Also, her manner of speaking is very different from your conversation with Oramus, right? Not like you're barely a few words into the conversation, but anyway,
But it's already night and day difference.
yeah, she's extending her hand and introduced herself. You shake her hand.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I think that handshake also like shakes that memory loose. But it's probably a big family and we're generations removed and
And we don't, hold the deeds of our ancestors against the people who are living today.
Right.
Not all Brenmores.
some
Blah,
people
blah, blah.
some people separate themselves from problematic components of their families and try to do better. So what how do you want to follow this up. I do love this moment of like seeing Lucky almost shaken, you know, but
It's just like
but not stirred.
Oh,
But I had a whole thing for Winslet noticing you notice, but you've passed that. You've solved my Winslet Brenmore puzzle. So what do you want to
I'm
talk to her
sorry
about?
to bypass that. But I will say, Miss Brenmore? That's kind of a question.
Oh, just Winslet is fine, please.
Winslet. I haven't met a Brenmore in quite some time.
Oh, well, I hope you won't hold that against me.
Of course not. Of course not. I'm sorry. I'm just a little, you know. But I actually came to you on quite different business.
Well, come in and sit down. And she has I'm picturing this like 1930s era stock market office of like the green kind of twisty chair with the padding, like stitched in padding, and a couple of like hardback wooden chairs facing her desk, and you know,
The brass lamp with the green shade.
yes, yeah, all of that is like, I think the whole vibe of the office building is just that kind of
Nice.
like steampunk 1930s New York.
Love it.
Yeah, she just invites you to sit down across and kind of like chunk, like moves up several stacks of things and like turns them and sets them off to one side. I don't get people visiting very often, so I'm afraid I can't offer you anything to drink, but
That's fine.
How can I help you?
I mean, honestly, it's fine. I prefer to be direct. And to be honest, I have recently come from Creektown.
I see.
And I've been hearing some interesting and disturbing things. Both. And I have come to the Union as knowing that the Sailstone Union is the major driving force in Spire in terms of organizations from the ground who deal with the people.
Well,
Look out for the people.
yes, as a matter of fact, since 1025, and she like starts into, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's the company line. What,
I need to know what you know about the Silver Mist.
the Great Mist.
I'm sorry. I need to know what you know about the Grey Mist. Fix it in post.
Yes. We'll just slice it in. Right, well, there why you wouldn't have had a proper greeting, or, this is me stalling on a word. Come on, longshoreman. You wouldn't have had a proper, longshoreman to bring any cargo off board. They have pushed us out of Creektown, and so I'm sorry you had to go through there first. I'm glad you made it into town where we're still somewhat in control. They have been a presence here for years, but at a fraction of what they are now.
That is what we have heard, what I have heard about a resurgence very recently.
Yes.
An explosion, if you will, of recruits, both local and imported.
They have launched a very successful campaign claiming long life and health for their members. They have a notable figure who claims to have come back from the dead, and apparently there are a number of witnesses. I can't corroborate that.
But who is that? Because this is the first I'm hearing of a resurrection.
Well, all we know is that he's referred to as Brother Niven. They don't talk to us about much more than that. We've tried to negotiate with them in good faith, and they have either turned us down or taken advantage of and turned and broken the contract when it suited them. So we no longer make deals with them. But
This makes perfect sense.
they're in a position now where they don't need to make deals with us. And that's become concerning.
It is highly concerning.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I have been telling my superiors this for weeks and no one is listening to me.
Well, I mean, you might want to let your superiors know that there are now interested parties from further afield.
Okay, can I give them any more specifics? And she gets a little like notepad out to
I mean, if you want to tell them that the consul is involved, then I think they'll know.
the consul. Which consulate?
The consulate.
The relevant one.
But beyond that, I appreciate your help. If I personally would say that resistance organized sooner is more successful than resistance organized later.
Well, okay. I mean, I would love to go to the board and talk to them about this. It would be a lot easier if I had a witness or someone to speak on behalf of this urgency. They are at the point where they're no longer convinced that I'm the liaison who cried wolf.
Oh.
Eh,
Well, my compatriots and I would be, I believe, happy to speak on behalf of the urgency.
That's a huge relief. I only want what's best for the city.
Would written statements do? I do not want to waste time with bureaucracy.
Well, I maybe I could also just arrange for a time. I know the board is meeting soon. We wouldn't be on their docket, but we could show up and just see if we have the opportunity to speak to them. Maybe with your consulate's weight behind it. And it's clear like she doesn't totally understand what you mean by
I
consulate.
can see that.
Yeah.
But someone amongst her supervisors will.
Probably.
And, you know, especially fresh off the Bryn Mawr flashback, I'm not explaining more.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, most of the world doesn't. They understand that there is an afterlife. That's sort of a given. Everyone understands, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see Grandpa and Grandma, when we go. Great, but they don't totally understand that there's a very organized bureaucracy on the other side of the veil.
But I will say, when is this meeting? When is their next organ?
Well, there should be one tomorrow morning. It's
Wonderful.
the start of the week.
Okay, I'll talk to my people and here.
Well, yes, in the boardroom, obviously, on the 5th floor towards the front of the building.
Perfect. We'll meet you there. And we will be heard.
Oh, this is such a relief, let me tell you. Is there anything you need while you're in the city? I can. There are a lot of things I can make available to you.
I believe that our usual haunts would probably not be our best places to go.
Well, here, let me create and she like flips a new page on her notepad and starts writing one thing and then grabs this great big stamp thing that like stamps onto this just lined notepad, but it creates a like glowing seal briefly that then the glow dies down. Tears off that sheet, says, here, take that to the hotel in the main district. They take care of our visiting dignitaries and, visiting professors and all that. They'll be able to make arrangements for you. If you want, here's several restaurants that, I know what she does. She gives you essentially workers union, like temporary ID badges.
Fantastic.
So anywhere that gives discounts and all that, and it's obvious that you're like visiting and you're being honored by the union, but she has the ability to hand those out at least. So she gives you that one thing that she wrote out by hand, and then she goes to the desk and finds several little, like, there are these little brooches. It's a brooch with it's the color of sailstone, but it's not really sailstone. It would be floating otherwise.
I'm Lucky Joshi, and this is my favorite shop on the Citadel.
Yes.
Is it
I
Failstone?
endorse this
It's
message.
sailstone. Yeah.
Um,
It's the false gold, the fool's gold of it's fool's stone.
that's fantastic. Thank you. And honestly, I'm sure you have not been quiet about your concerns, as you said. But I'm sure that the board is not the only people you've been talking to.
Well, I've spoken to many of my colleagues here in the offices.
And it might come a time, very soon, when a critical juncture will be reached. And whatever your board says, the Grey Mist must be disbanded.
You know, I was speaking to the head of the Delvers, and he thought he had a pathway almost directly under their temple,
Now that
and I didn't think of a use for it immediately, but he believed me, and it's a little more direct, and I talked him down from immediate action, but that it might be worth following up with Wally. Sorry, Waldorf. No, don't call him Wally. Please don't tell him I said that. And then you see like a little bit of like darkening in her cheeks, and she's like scrambling just to make some notes, and just writes the name Waldorf on a piece of paper and hands it to you. Just to be like looking at something else for a minute. Like definitely not her crush. She's not crushing on this guy. Never in a million years. That's not it.
Yeah,
it's
no, of
something
course not.
else.
No,
That would be
not even
unprofessional.
Yeah.
her type. And like that's a cat smile. And yes, yeah, I think Waldorf and I could have a very good conversation. Thank you.
Well, so we'll see you for the meeting tomorrow morning. Great. Well, I hope. I wish you were Inspire in better times, but I hope you can make the best of your time here so far, and maybe we can, you know, give the cult a run for their money.
We will, or we will die trying. And I'll tell Waldorf that you sent me. And hold up this random ass piece of paper with
A
Waldorf's name
whole
on
like
it.
half sheet of like notepad with like Waldorf in her very neat handwriting.
And it's just like, hold it up
Yeah.
as kind of like a half salute.
Yeah.
And, you know, do that like sachet thing out of the office.
Sure.
I am so pleased with myself. So pleased with myself.
Yes.
Is it November 4th?
Why? I don't get it.
Because we're going to be going down a tunnel underneath a government office, and
Oh, well, the cult is not a government office, but yeah, might as well be. They're trying to
at
become.
this point they are. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they-
are.
They're mostly good.
Who runs Creek Town?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the mafia doesn't make you like being a criminal organization doesn't make you the government.
Yeah. They
Like-
they buy mayors, but they're not the mayor.
We're apolitical, so never mind. Let's keep going.
We're not apolitical. We just don't talk about it that much.
Oh,
But that's fine.
no. Okay. I think we all know what I'm saying
Yeah.
without knowing
Yeah.
what I'm
We
saying.
sure do.
Yeah.
So.
B may always be A, but A does not always mean it's B.
Right.
So, shall we meet in the square by the fountain?
Yes.
Sounds good.
As we definitely previously discussed and agreed upon.
Absolutely. Yes.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
And double checked on your earbud communicators. So,
Which we have.
yeah.
And remember that we have.
CAST.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
The fountain.
Yeah, he made a
Friends.
Friends reference.
Oh.
So, if you go on the Warner Brothers studio tour, you can have a good walk around the Friends Fountain and a lot of other places that are on the Friends show. And
This
my
is,
mother went on this tour and had never seen an episode of Friends.
That's awesome.
So
Okay, I want to hear the running commentary of that, though. Now they're showing us this fake fountain.
so it is a round fountain, but it's not just like flat with water jets coming out of it. It's actually like there are several like perfectly suspended sailstones that
that's
the
cool.
water is pouring down from. So it's sort of a waterfall. Actually, it's not perfectly clear where the water is coming from because there's like a floating stone and water is coming out of it and there's nothing under it. It's like a pretty good trick, really.
It's like those fountains that are the giant boulder, the giant like round,
where it's
smooth
sort of floating.
marble, and it's floating, and you can turn it because it's just the water.
Yeah, but these are like several just.
Yeah, I know, up
Yeah.
in the air.
Yeah.
This is the fantasy version.
Or
Yes.
Third is just fascinated by it. It's like, whoa,
How do they do that?
interesting. Yeah, maybe
Um,
we could,
Yeah,
Tina would love this.
she does love it. She's there.
It's been very good.
Yeah, I think there's a couple times you're like, "Don't get in there." She's like, puts one foot. Like,
her tongue is just going.
because she's a boat cat. She's not afraid of water.
No.
Right.
So
That's where the fish comes from.
yeah,
Arlington.
go get them yourself. So the four of you meet up with Portina as well, and I assume exchange notes to some extent.
Yeah.
Well, you would not believe who was down there.
Someone we know.
Brenmore. Not the Brenmore. Another Brenmore.
Of the
You two
Serious?
could roll to recognize the name. They did a pretty good job of hiding. Like they were a very like, the Brenmores own that company. Like it would be kind of surprising.
I
To,
don't know. I
No,
think I
we
like
actually
us
made
not
our
knowing.
change of like,
great. Okay.
of the Brynmores.
Yeah. Like that asshole. In the bottom of the sea with the hole in the ocean.
The asshole in the ocean.
Broken arm.
Is she in charge? Is she responsible? If they...
I mean, she is. Like, she's great. But, like, I just thought it was hilarious. Obviously, your sense of humor died along with other things.
It's been a day.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I might know where the Kraken have gone.
oh, that's great. Where'd they go?
My brother,
Who you killed.
who may be back.
Again? Rude.
Wait, again? What do you mean again?
Lich.
Oh,
The Kraken seem to be under some control. They are not just dying randomly anymore. There seems to be a pattern, an organized one. And so I must ask, what force, in this world or the next, might marshal such a feat? And I can think of only one person whose ambition matches that.
Could be. But was your brother not under the control and sway of the certain faction of the Bone Giants?
Who
He
can say?
got many of his powers from them. It doesn't automatically mean that he has just turned up like a bad penny to haunt you more.
That would be his style.
Could be. I just don't want you to... assume. Especially since, apparently... Do you even remember what I'm talking about? Stupid memory wipes.
Ever since I took my office, things have been clearer. I remember your face.
Well, I'm glad you were waking up, my friend.
Sometimes I wish I stayed asleep.
Rude.
Veldrana,
Sorry.
Veldrana.
What is Valdrana?
Wall climbs up to the first step of the fountain. How secure is this thing?
Well, I mean, it's like a marble
Okay.
plinth, you know.
He's gonna climb up to the tallest part of the fountain, and
Yeah,
he's going to
The lip
scream,
of it is probably like 2 steps high, but, you know, it's
Yeah.
elevated.
Veldrana! And he's screaming at the top of his lungs, and there's tears coming down his cheek. That is a name that hasn't been spoken for far too long.
Well, keep it.
Have to
Try
note
not to
the,
draw attention to ourselves.
the flock of pigeons that take off in terror,
Yeah.
and, you know, the several people in the square were like, oh, what is...
And now,
is he
if
okay?
any
What-
of the gray mist is within 10-15 blocks,
Then they'll know where to find me. They have a lot to answer to.
well, I know that you have a death wish,
Oh,
which it honestly makes me quite curious about why you took your job to begin with. But if you take the rest of us down with you, I will send Arjun to rip you back from the Shadowlands so that I can haunt your ass till the end of time.
You'll be good company.
No, you have not begun to see bad company.
Now, everyone, you've drawn a lot of attention. Being dramatic is my job. So why don't we go someplace where we could talk a little more discreetly?
Let's go find Wally. I mean, Waldorf.
Sure.
I have a GM note. Did I say Brother Niven?
You
Yes.
did.
Yes.
I wondered about
I
that.
did a Larry Niven. Oops, it's Nizen.
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 Also, I'm confused because there's like, I think there's a Niven in my
Nizen.
Hellfire game, and I was like, why is this name haunting me?
No, I don't know. No, it was just a transposed letter that I was like, did I say Niven?
I said it was Larry Niven and that he was a ringer, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's not what I meant to say. That's very funny though. Okay, so as you're standing here, there is there's like a what do you call it? Like a public relations workers union person. Kind of, they're like several in the square, or it's not really a square, it's round, but in the town center that direct tourists and answer questions and give directions, and you know, it will lead tours and that sort of thing. And one of them, who's the like, they have just a little thing that says "Ask me how." You're like, what? Ask you how what? But but by their dress, you know, they have a livery and
no, I'm How. What is over there? Who is at that corner?
On first.
yes. It's
And Maine.
just
Yeah,
this
da-da-da-da.
sandy-haired, sort of middle-aged man. He's not like stomping up to you, but he is sort of like inching in your direction, like, should I offer help? He's like walking and then looks over his shoulder, like, maybe I don't have to if they're done yelling. You have attracted the "May I help you?"
Could
But
be.
he is reluctant. So,
Okay.
it's up to you. If you want to talk to this guy, you can. Otherwise, you can get out of there before he doesn't want to walk up to you, but he feels obliged.
Well, now that you're right. There. Yeah. I have this seal to get us into a very nice hotel in the main square.
Hopefully, no random attackers in this one.
I mean,
Here's hoping.
fingers crossed. Or I guess like a better like.
So all goes.
Knocked on their own shoulder.
What?
Knocked on their own shoulder.
Yes.
Yes.
Knocked on their own shoulder.
May your tail not be twisted.
Speaking of which, you never told me whatever happened to your tail.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's a rude question.
Whatever happened to yours?
That
I'm an elf. I don't have a tail.
you know of.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know. Do you want to talk about what happened with your brother? Yeah, see?
Okay, all right. Consider it dropped. It's just curious.
Cats and curiosity always get along so well.
When it's my curiosity.
So, you'll want a chance to check into the hotel, right? When you show up, it is very much like business travelers hotel, right? There's a lot of people kind of bustling in and out. It doesn't have a lot of the grand, this isn't.
It's a literal Holiday Inn.
Yes, yeah. But it is not the like grand suites and the
It's a 3-star.
yeah. It's a solid 3.
Solid 3,
right? Like
yes.
a very reliable 3.
I mean, like, extended stay.
Yeah, it's an extended stay. And you are each given your own little sort of apartment. They have a little like kitchenette kind of stuff in them. It doesn't look exactly like a kitchenette because that's a modern thing, but there are some accoutrement in the room of like a little thing that can heat up and make tea and all that kind of stuff. And you each have they managed to get all of you on the same floor, and that's
Oh, that's nice.
you've got some space here. There's a common room. They also serve food. There's whatever you could need for your basic arrangements here. But what do you want to do?
Try on the fuzzy bathrobe.
It is
It's a little scratchy.
it's 3-star
Aw.
nice.
Of course. After I bounce on the bed a little bit.
Taught you well.
So they have Brother Nizen who...
Now, are we meeting up in someone's room?
Oh.
I
Or...
think we
Yeah.
can meet up in Lucky's room or something.
Yeah, I
Wherever.
don't think this is
We'll take a
public
minute.
area.
Yeah, we'll take a minute for bath and snacks, and then go meet up in your room, I guess.
Okay, well, I tell you what Winslet told me about Brother Nizen and the Delvers having a tunnel underneath the main temple,
That's useful.
and that she gave me this name. Hold a piece of paper.
A whole half sheet of
Waldorf.
paper that just says Waldorf
It
on it.
Must be very important, this Waldorf person.
Is there a hidden message in the rest?
Hidden message for Waldorf.
Hold it up to candlelight.
I'll get some lemon juice.
Yeah.
Nope,
The
nope,
A
not that
turns
kind
into
of.
a little bit of a heart,
Yeah.
but it's an
Yeah.
anatomical heart. Like,
Yeah.
oh, weird.
Mm.
I want to say that this is taking place in Sal's room,
Oh, okay.
and that Portina has been very, very good this whole time.
Okay.
And so I have ordered some fish
Okay.
and letting her eat it in whichever form she prefers.
Well, yeah, if she doesn't have to go human and use like fork and stuff, she would rather eat as a cat.
There we go.
But-
She's got a big fish.
She's been learning about forks. She understands the concept, but resents it.
Sure.
It's not that she can't use it. She don't wanna.
Right.
So,
How's she with dingle hoppers?
well, they're good for brushing your hair.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we're in Sal's room.
Just had this mental image of like Cortana with a sea urchin on a fork, using it as like an exfoliator.
Yeah.
Scratcher.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been years.
Yep. Yeah, she's a big cat, right? Like it's that like motor sound of a large cat purr.
So I would like to find Waldorf and see. Oh, and I tell them about I tell y'all about the meeting tomorrow morning with the board.
Okay.
Well, I would like to get as much information as we can before we go south to them, but if we can get the union on board.
All right. That's a morning plan, but what about for the rest of the night? Are we actually going to relax?
I was gonna go track down this head of the Delvers at his favorite bar, But you are much better at actually talking to people than I am.
All right.
Seems best to speak with him as soon as possible.
Okay, sounds good. I might need all of your assistance with something later because I have a ritual that will help me get rid of that knife. Could be a bit dangerous, but I think it's worth a shot.
What do you need?
So I'll list off whatever miscellaneous ingredients, salt, candles, incense, herbs.
If nobody rolls a 1, it's everything you could find at local alchemist shops.
Cool. Are you telling me to roll?
Yeah.
It's a 2.
Oh my
Is
god.
it really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a
What
1.
the heck
All
is
right.
going on tonight?
So,
That's intense.
I don't think this is a major impediment, but I want it to be that this stuff represents a great expense in some way, and so I don't know that you have a lot of liquid funds. I know that you could contact your family for money.
I've gotten paid for being a bard.
Right. Yeah, you
And
do
we
have
have-
some money, and I know the ship has had some moved some cargo, and you've done a little bit, but you've also been doing just a lot of pro bono, your own investigation, etc.
Well, we have all those goods from the Kraken.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
We're
yes,
we're
that's-
like, yeah, pretty rich.
Yeah. I thought we were
you're,
pretty
as a
flush.
group, you're medium rich.
Yeah.
For this thing, it would require basically half of all that you brought in.
You can have my share.
And mine.
Sure. Wow. Thanks. That really means a lot.
See that you
Um,
don't take future gifts so lightly.
Yeah, lesson learned. All right. Forsooth shopping montage.
Sure.
We don't need to
Yeah, I
play
mean,
that.
we can note,
No.
though, that the afternoon was spent, you visited several apothecaries and alchemist shops and managed to get everything that you needed on the list. So you just need a place to draw a chalk circle and light some candles. There is enough room in your hotel room if you wanted
Probably
to.
where it'll be. It's the most private space that we have currently.
Yeah. Let's take care of our other errands first before we delve into Fey magic. Wait. You want to find this person?
Oh, yeah,
soon,
it's
so-
supposed to be performed at midnight anyway.
Oh,
so-
okay. Perfect. So we're looking. Is it Waldorf who we're trying to meet, or
Mhm.
okay? Well, let's go see if we can find this Waldorf fellow now.
Stat.
Who wants to name this bar?
The bar.
Not it.
The underside.
Well done.
We really don't know who you are.
You actually know Morse code?
I only know SOS.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
To those listening later, I was blinking SOS into the camera. This is a very strange Jason we have today.
Yes, it's been very odd.
All right. So there are lots of bars. There are, the underside is not an establishment that is right in the town center. It's, a little off center, off kilter, very much working class kind of place. Not the kind of place you go in like tails or a gown, I mean, you can
Not with
have
that
a tail,
attitude.
but you shouldn't wear a tail.
Mm.
Rude.
You can have a tail, I said. You just can't wear one.
Well, that means Portina can't go. She has a wear-tail.
I was actually going to say, this is, more likely it's okay for her to go there, for you to bring an animal in, than most of the places in the town center. They're a little too posh for that. So you could probably bring her along if you want to.
Probably better an animal than a small child anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
She's a teenager.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's
That's
worse.
not terribly.
That's
Yeah,
worse.
That's worse. Still underage.
Yes. Yeah, I think the town does observe some sort of 17, 18-ish, you gotta look like you're buying this with your own money. That's the starting rule. So you find the underside. It is surprisingly a big focus of this bar. You go in, there is a relatively short bar on the right. There's a pretty big open space with round tables with you could fit probably 4 to 8 chairs if people really like each other at that group, and people have dragged one chair over here. There's a various arrangement of just wooden tables and chairs and all this. But there's a big section. So when you walk in the door, it's kind of center of the room, right? The door is on the center of the space. You go in, there's a lot of tables, little bar on the right, and then straight ahead on the far end of the room, there's a little stage with this the person is obviously what was artificer. I kept thinking of alchemist. No, artificer. There's some kind of device there that is playing. Well, it's a hurdy-gurdy.
But it fits itself.
It's an auto hurdy.
Yes.
It's an auto gurdy.
Not a Gertie. All right.
And the artificer is sort of like tuning it and adjusting it. But as you get there, like he's just standing there. He's like probably 50 something, bright green skin, fairly humanoid looking. The ears look a little finny, like maybe they're, I don't know, maybe a mer person, maybe not. But as he's adjusting the auto gurdy, the stage is empty, and then he looks up and says, "Milton, you're up." And somebody just gets up from a table and walks up and is handed a voice amplifying wand and starts to sing a fairly famous bardic tune that you're all aware of.
I love karaoke
It
so
is.
much.
It is, in fact, fantasy
I
karaoke.
love it.
And Milton is not a good singer, but the crowd absolutely loves it. It is that kind of karaoke bar, not the
Oh,
one
good.
where
It's not the LA karaoke.
right, where you have to show up looking like
For
$1 million
reals.
and sing like an angel, or
You don't need to be actively looking for a contract.
right. So it is. It's that
For
kind
$50,
of place.
I'll go on ahead of you, so you sound great.
I see, and this is my beef with karaoke in this town because I love going to karaoke. And actually, I think our locals are pretty good, but some of the karaoke places I've been to are just like, oh, I'm not getting up here. I'm a terrible singer.
This is where the private rooms in K-Town are just the best thing
Yeah, I've
ever.
never done that.
Well, that's
I've
what I'm
never done
doing
that.
for my birthday, so you all should come.
I've never had a private room
It's
karaoke.
fun. They're fun. They're
They
fun.
are amazing.
There's actually one over in like Northridge too.
Oh. Is it not
There's lots of
awkward?
them.
You're just sitting there with your friends yelling at each other?
No, that's
No,
great.
it's fantastic, and
Okay.
you can buy snacks and drinks
Yeah.
and like
You know,
have a
when we
whole
have our
thing.
rap party, that's what we'll do.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
All right.
I would
Yes.
love to try that.
Up for it.
Patreon exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Castoffs at karaoke.
Also, if anyone ever does karaoke with Jay,
Oh,
Jay's the
Oh,
best
Jay's
motherfucking
Jay
singer ever.
oh yeah. Yes.
It's
I have come
rude.
across this. It is disrespectful, frankly. Yeah.
So cute.
Jay's been a bunch of Happy Jack shows, folks. If you're not sure. But anyway, so this is the bar, the underside. The bar is like, it has room for, I think there's probably like 10 stools, right? There's like 10 on the long side and like 4 on the short side. And and then there's a doorway at the far end of it that's obviously goes into a kitchen area. But hardly anyone is like, a couple people are like ordering and like, come on, hurry, like taking a whole thing back to their table. It doesn't seem like there's any wait staff here aside from the bartenders. So people are just like getting their own drinks and bringing them out. But they bring them out on these serving platters that basically balance themselves. You have to
That's
hold them up a
wisdom.
little bit, like they can't support the weight of all the drinks, but they balance. That's their hovering ability is. Yeah, so here you are.
Third eyes just light up at the sight of a stage. Sal,
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to introduce you to an amazing experience. You trust me, right?
Yes.
Do you know any songs?
Of course.
Great. And he's going to go over to the guy
So
over in the
on
auto
the right side of the stage, there is a scroll that's sort of like unrolled, and there's a series of names on it, and a feathered quill hanging from a piece of twine,
I'll sign up third and Sal. We'll do it together.
like a duet.
Yes.
Okay. Looks like there's a few names ahead of you, so you probably got a little bit of time because
Yeah,
you could see Milton on there.
Uh-huh.
But what do you want to do in the meantime?
I gotta search for this Waldorf. Do you know what this Waldorf guy looks like?
No, didn't come up.
Okay.
She gave me a half sheet of paper with his name written on it and told me not to call him Wally.
I see. So we might just have to ask around. Pardon me, are you Waldorf? Why don't we know?
Could I
Why
make
don't
a
we start
luck
with the
roll?
bartender?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
That Waldorf is the next one up?
Oh,
Roll it.
is his name on the list? Smart. Read the list.
15.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Waldorf is right after Milton.
Oh,
On
perfect.
the list.
Awesome.
Good.
Which
eyes.
gives us time to peruse the menu.
Excellent.
So yeah, it has a bunch of, fantasy bar foods and beverages. It's primarily known for a series of like different types of mead is this bar's specialty, but they also have some ales and whatever else, wine. So and there are girls there. So sorry, just that old skit. It's a whole mix of people in here. No other mastheads though, and you do get some looks.
No, I don't.
Oh right, yes, you look like Tank Girl. So never mind.
I
Scratch
mean,
that.
maybe you do still get some looks.
That's
there.
true. I still get some look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of you do in that respect. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, somebody we haven't met yet or flirted with, and
Wall, by the way, is still in his disguise garb this whole time.
Oh yeah, with the
Yeah.
face covering and
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hmm.
I was about to ask which guy's garb, but because I misheard you.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Now
This guy.
the fun part about your illusion, though,
Because it's an illusion.
is that you are still 8 feet tall.
Yes.
Like you stick up out of the top of your,
Yes.
like your illusion's head is like at your belly button.
Yes.
Wait,
Well,
how
a little
short
taller
is
The
than
your-
chest.
But-
Okay.
Okay.
And I imagine you perceive yourself and you see the illusion kind of
Mm.
from the top down.
Right.
So that's fun.
It's like you're clipping through your video game character.
Yeah, exactly. I can see my teeth. Oh god.
Oh, eyes
Why
were the
did
worst.
they?
Oh, the eyes. The back of my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's like, why did they animate this? Oh no!
Yeah.
Where are the faces?
Yeah. Yeah. It's upsetting. I've been there.
I mean, everyone who played that version of Assassin's Creed has been there.
All right. So we get a table, settle in, and order some drinks or whatever. Does anyone need details on that? Okay.
Nope.
So after Milton finishes, the artificer calls up the first does a whole thing about like, tipping the bartenders and and how he's here every Sunday night, I guess. I don't know. It's Sunday, I guess. We have Earth days of the week. Whatever.
We have Third Tide Day.
Sure. Yeah, if I had time to come up with all that stuff, I would, but I'm not gonna. So,
So this is your opportunity, Happy Jacks listeners. Give us a complete weekly and monthly breakdown for this world that we're going to be in for one more week.
it would have to be based on the what am I allowed? 6 moons?
3. I
Three.
think we held you to 3.
Three.
That was a good try.
It was 3 if you're good.
All right.
If you keep pushing it, we're gonna bring it back to 2.
All right, 3 moons. See, I imagine weeks are like 9 days long, and a month is 27, and it's everything's in threes.
Sure.
So, but it also means the weekend is 3 days long. Work day
As
is
it should be.
6. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
Well, but you get 3 days off. So anyway,
A full week. You get a full week off after 2 weeks on.
So the artificer just goes through a spiel and then calls up Waldorf. And at that, the whole place is like, yeah. Like, this guy is
Regular.
he's known here and is well loved. Okay? And when he gets up there, this guy is just like, you know, very light skin, bushy black beard, kind of bushy curly hair that's, well, let's go with long. It's like pirate long, you know, like down his shoulders.
He looks
Barrel-
like a 90s hair metal band.
Yeah, but with
With a pirate beard.
a Jack Black build, right? Like a muscly, you know, like he's muscled through his arms and shoulders, but he's got a big belly, and you know, it's just like a physically large presence. But he's probably only like 6 feet tall, right? He's not like a giant, but he just but as he gets up there, his smile is just like $1 million smile, right? He's got like kind of weird teeth, but just like the energy is, you know,
It's got charisma.
yeah. He is well liked here, and he's you know, takes the stage and actually sings a fairly difficult song. Third, I think you recognize the song as like being from some obscure opera, but this guy has done like the bar version of this.
He can belt it.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
wow, I'm glad we're not going directly after that guy.
yeah, I mean, he's not opera quality, but he's a good singer, right? So, just the fact that he knows the song, though, I think for a third is like, wow, this guy like reads books or something.
Like, the stage presence makes up for the lack of technical ability.
So, he does his set. Do you want to talk to him right after that, or wait for your set, or
I think we should.
once he's done, it's pretty easy to tell where he is pretty much all the time. The average height in here is under 6 feet, and so he's one of the taller people.
I think we should give him a moment to speak with his friends before we descend.
All right. So just keep an eye on him. Want to make sure we don't lose sight of him.
I don't think that'll be a problem in here.
Yeah. Okay, so your name is called.
Come on, Sam.
Okay. I had a question, but it's
Oh,
not.
no,
It's not germane to where we are right now. I can.
But I want
explain.
another question now.
Do I have to keep wearing? Does the hat disguise itself, or does it always look like the hat?
Oh, I can't remember what I said about that.
I don't think we talked about it, which is why it just occurred to me now.
Yeah, I like the hat hiding better than because otherwise, if you were trying to use this as a disguise,
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh, there's that hat again. Like we kind of defeat the purpose.
Okay.
Unless you always have to wear a hat, but it's a different hat.
Yeah,
or
maybe,
something like
maybe
that.
how's that feel? Like
Okay.
you have to have a hat on, but the hat will look like whatever you want.
Okay.
That's fun. I like that.
Make it a mohawk.
Yeah, I don't have to have a hat on a hat.
Yeah. Yeah, and it could be like a distinctive hairstyle or something, like just something elevated from your head.
Okay. Then it's absolutely a mohawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Liberty Spikes, just up.
Sure.
Unlike mine.
I love it. Okay, so we're gonna have the two of you do a song. Should we just roll a die?
Yes.
I was we should have texted because Sal knows sea shanties.
Oh, I wasn't gonna do sea shanty. I was gonna do a karaoke club. Wait.
Oh
I
well,
can
okay.
text you.
I'm open to hearing more about this.
There, wait.
Do you need it? Should I vamp for a minute?
Yes, vamp for like.
Okay.
Well, while
10
that's
seconds.
maybe, I'm gonna pull a chair up closer to Lucky,
listen to
and I plop down
Just
the
pull
most
clear.
expensive
have to
drink that this place has.
Off the table it goes.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
And I pull out a second one because I knew you were gonna do that to the first one.
each other so well.
Traditions.
Do you really question why I'm here?
Sometimes. You're pulling away.
It's been feeling heavy.
That's what we're here for.
I used to know how to grieve a fallen comrade, a brother in arms, someone I couldn't save in time, but how do you begin to grieve a people?
Letting yourself remember them instead of erasing them is the first step. The choices that you made sense at the time, but you can't keep running away from what happened. And you can't keep running into everyone. If you plan on building something, you have to stay.
You would make a good ruler.
Of course I would.
You know I would never put you or anyone from our family in danger.
Not on purpose.
Fair. Wall looks over to the sign-up board. Perhaps there's one way I can honor our people. This will take an amount of courage I've never mustered before, so I'll be ordering more of these. He's gonna order several drinks and then put his name up on the sign-up board.
Is there like a hymn of Veldrana?
He's gonna sing it's a love song of like a lost love, but he's using that as like the
Sure.
yeah. This one goes out to
My boy.
Veldrana.
Oh, Veldrana. No, not that one. Less hope.
I'm glad that you're waking up. I hope you stay that way this time.
I always hate forgetting you.
We all have to come to things in our own time.
All right. Should we? Are you prepared for your stage?
Yeah, as you're having this like sweet moment, I think the music starts.
Yeah.
So, do you want to
lift
start
up
it?
my glass and salute?
No, it's
Yeah,
the
I can't
worst.
wait.
It's the worst choice for that moment. I feel like you would start seeing as.
I don't know. This is brand new to Sal.
Come on, Sal. Everybody knows this song. Yeah,
Oh,
you know how it goes
you
like.
know.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like, we spent a lot of time in Creektown and stuff. So.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
start?
I
I'll
mean,
do the first.
Yeah.
That'd be a little weird. Okay.
It's up to you. Sal would have heard a lot of sailing songs.
I mean, it's a song about traveling.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely
Come on,
world.
put your heart into it, Sal.
She took the midnight train going anywhere.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere, and it continues.
Yeah.
And
And the crowd goes wild because they haven't heard this song in forever. They forgot that was on the karaoke list.
even though it probably plays every single night,
yeah,
It's
you
joined-
forget.
but it's we're probably we
Has a
should probably
memory.
roll and see how good or bad
Yeah.
we are.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's do a combined roll.
I think it has a memory charm. Everyone forgets at the end of the night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they roll with advantage? Because,
Ooh.
like, it's.
Well, let's
this,
see. Let's see
like-
what
it
his
does-
scores are. I got a 15,
Sure.
so maybe it's half.
7.
Yeah, I think you should roll with advantage though. With the pull of the crowd here is
7.
encouraging. You get 2 7.
No, I got a 4. So
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
Yeah,
saying.
mine's still a 15. So.
Okay, no, but that's good. That feels like it balanced each other out into a solid medium.
Karaoke's not always about being good. It's about singing a song that the crowd likes.
Yeah, and everyone has a good time. It's just no one is going to be chasing you down for a recording contract afterwards.
No
So
one is chanting third.
But as long as we got everyone
Oh.
going.
Thirdo!
Third.
Thirdo!
Someone in the audience goes, "Oh my God, is that third?"
It's Thirdo!
I
Can't be
need that to
third
happen.
I mean, there's no way that that's third out.
Sign my baby!
I feel like you two were saying that just to be assholes.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Wall definitely shouting
It's like in
Thirdo.
Muppet Take Manhattan.
That was like the other Waldorf has come out to play.
Yeah, no, I think there are some conversations around the place of like, no, I just came in from the aisles. No, that's Thurdo. And there's a little back and forth after you two sort of
Yeah.
joke about it.
Yeah.
It spreads,
Oh,
you
who's
know.
that cute girl he's with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
Not a girl.
but you look
But
like
you
a
look
girl.
like
Yes,
one.
I know.
You look like
But I
so-
couldn't pass up a Janet reference.
Sure, yeah, not a girl, not a robot.
Walt does have a song picked out. If we want to do it, we don't have to.
No, I
think
need
you should
it.
at least do a
I
couple
think you
movies.
have to.
Yeah, gotta
Okay.
give us a stand.
I didn't want to interrupt. Like if you have a story beat before that.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
Nope,
Cool.
just silliness.
Yeah. While like trepidatiously, and this is the first time you see him like shaking, and he's like they call his name. They just call Wall.
Yeah.
He walks
Everyone's
up
like
there.
Waldorf.
Yeah,
no,
no.
just Walt.
Yeah, just Wall.
I love how you're in
Oh.
this disguise. Same name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Walt. There are many Walls.
Yeah, it's a common name.
Yeah. Wall just kind of
Barrier,
there's like feedback and like awkward like am I too close?
The artificer turns the
Yeah.
wand up the other way around.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm like tapping it too hard. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Thank you. This one is for a lost love. One that I'll always remember. The music fades slowly in. I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. And then he sings the rest of that song.
perfect.
I'll use
And it's
magic
very-
tricks to make it look like there's little lighters, like little flames over our thumbs. So we wave.
And
Love
there's
it.
the
That's it.
glimmer of a tear when he gets to the somewhere only we know part.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That's the perfect song. Cool. This is a fun night. I'm enjoying this. All right, we have to get to the heart of matters. All right, so
This was the fun part. Strap in, hold your butts. We're getting to the.
yeah, now it's
Cheers,
time to
man.
eat your vegetables. All right, so you have an opportunity to talk. You know, like Waldorf gets up to go to the bar and get something. Are all of you gonna go talk to him? A spokesperson.
I'll nudge Lucky. Hey, it's probably a good time to go talk to him.
Okay, great. Let's do so.
Okay, sure, I'll come with. It's fine.
The choice was not a choice.
It was not a choice. I was voluntold.
Okay. Now, are you two going with as well?
I'm gonna drift in that direction.
Okay.
Like I'm not exactly with
Just
the,
go
with the party,
casually.
but yeah,
Okay.
fly casual.
Well,
Can Wall just still be doing his bit
oh,
while
like,
they're
during the song?
yeah. I
yeah,
think Wall like weirdly gets into it like
Sure.
midway. yeah,
like,
yeah,
add
yeah,
an extra stanza
Right,
or double
right.
part of it, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, and the crowd's cheering him on, like if he seems a little
Right.
unsure,
He gets,
you know.
yeah,
like-
he starts to get into
Yeah.
it a bit, and
Yeah.
he lingers on stage for a bit, but then he'll join.
yeah, it's definitely the right place for that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Yeah. So the tail end of your song is when this is happening, and they take the opportunity to go talk to Waldorf. I wish I'd come up with something other than Waldorf, but anyway, here we are.
Astoria.
Yeah.
Statler.
Oh my god. I'm just
That's
stealing
fine.
all these names from the Muppet Show.
Yes.
You just hear the faded down from Wall from the stage as you guys are talking.
Yeah.
And if you have a minute, why don't we?
Yeah, the TV show just like fades
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the background.
Yeah.
Like, it was so loud before. How are they talking?
Yeah.
Are you Waldorf?
Waldorf.
But anyway, yeah, you approach him at the bar. He's ordering a bunch of drinks for his table of like 10 people. You're gonna have to open the scene.
I'll start. I don't know what we want to ask him.
I'm gonna tell him Winslet sent us.
Huh?
Winslet.
All
Winslet.
right. Hey, Waldorf.
Oh yes,
Hello.
hello. Hi.
Hello.
Are you visiting from somebody? He
I-
sees your. Are you wearing the brooch?
Yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah, because we're at a
Yeah, we should
like
be.
a
It's a union bar. So
That's how we get into things. Yes, hi, I'm Third. This is my friend, Lucky. You have a fantastic voice. I'm not lying.
Third O?
Oh.
The one and only.
I rolled poorly, which is why he knows this.
The one and only, yes. Actually, my friends and I were hoping we could borrow you for a moment, if that's all right.
Well, sure. Nan, just hang on to these for a minute. What's going on?
Oh, this is a friend. Are you going by Sal?
I don't think I'm over. I mean, I'm hovering.
Oh,
So
yeah.
are you pulling me out of the crowd?
Oh,
then?
sorry.
Yeah,
no, okay,
Sal
no,
was
no.
sort of like a
Okay, I didn't know
discreet
if you were with
distance
that.
away to
Gotcha.
listen but not participate.
So it's not just like 3 strangers come and start talking
Okay.
to so and so.
No,
So it's just
Thirdo
two
and his
strangers.
entourage.
Yes. My cat friend. So this is Lucky. We're actually here on. Sorry to have to bring this up to Barbara. We're actually here on business.
Oh, well, that's all right. I mean, are you looking for a position in the union? I don't know if we have a lot of minstrel positions left, but
No, not like that.
Winslet sent us.
Winnie,
Yes.
no kidding.
Just
Mm-hmm.
so
Does he
not
have, does he
actually
have
under
the
her.
blush too?
Yeah, and he doesn't blush, but he is like, all right,
He has that look.
cool.
Don't tell her I called
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Oh,
Oh no! It is our mission to get them together.
I mean Winslet. Excuse me. Sorry.
Woody and Wally.
Cute.
What can I help you with?
Um,
He leans a elbow on the bar. He's like trying. He's like off his game now, right? He's like kind of awkward and.
we heard about a pathway
What
that
would-
might be useful to people who have an interest in the silver fog, and like very like obvious but not
and-
obvious.
The gray
and he like holds his hand out like he doesn't actually touch your face, but he's like trying to be like, hold on, not here. Okay, sorry, that was rude. We should continue this conversation outside.
This is why you should have done the talking. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, we can.
so 1 second, and he just like, grabs the tray of drinks and like drops it off. He's like, "Hang on, guys, I'll be back in a minute," and follows you out front. Do you want to go outside as well?
I'll head in that direction.
Okay. And well, as you're finishing
Yeah.
the song, you can see them head out the
Yeah.
front door.
Yeah.
But everyone's cheering for you, and like some people want to buy you drinks,
Mm.
and I don't know how you want to
just
deal with
so
that,
moved.
but
Take a drink and one for Valdrena in my name, and I'll be very grateful.
yeah, sure, Valdrena. And a couple of them look and are like, I've heard of Valdrena. Yeah, cool.
She's that lady from that show.
Well,
right?
welcome to Spire.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
It really does.
You're breaking my heart.
Wall needed this. He walks with squared shoulders back to his people.
Okay, so you're gonna head out the
Yeah,
door.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So when you get outside, Wall rejoins you. Sal is like smoking or something, and like off to the side. Like I don't.
No, I haven't been set on fire. I will.
Smoking like
Yeah.
like, no, your mouth is down here.
Yeah.
Down.
Sal is in that uncomfortable distance where they're too close to be to have give the person privacy,
Yeah.
but not far enough away that
Mm.
Sorry,
Okay.
that uncomfortable place.
Yeah. Then I think Waldorf just notices, right? And he says,
She's with us.
"These two are with you."
Yeah, they're friends.
Okay.
Oh,
And
wait, you came outside.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and you're friends
Yeah,
of Winslet's.
Yes.
Associates, yes.
Well, okay. All right. Well, what is that exactly you want to talk about?
Well, like we said, we heard that there's an underground walkway that could lead to a place, what is it, like a temple?
Well, there are a lot of tunnels under the city just from the nature of our work. It happens. We clean it up. We make them usable so they can become byways. Most people don't use the underground tunnels, but they cover a lot of ground, I guess.
Well, I suppose you could say we're here to clear out some of the
Pest
mist.
control.
Yes.
We're here to clear the air, so to speak.
Okay. The trouble is, like, how do I know you're who you say you are? This could be like
Because
it's
the
not the
consulate sent us.
Oh, shit. Hey, you got that piece of paper on you?
Also this.
Chill it, because he might
Actually, just
recognize when he's handwriting.
Yeah.
I have a note.
he does. He goes to. Will you let him take it?
Yeah.
He's like, that's her handwriting.
Oh.
Oh, and it's gone to the creepy place.
I mean, no, I mean, it's just he gets soft about it, right? And it's like, okay, all right. So you definitely talked to Winslet, Ms. Brenmore. I mean, she's done excellent work as our liaison. She's tried to reach out multiple times to the fog. That's good.
While he's stuttering, I'm going to kind of nudge Wall and just say, like, hey, keep an eye out.
For
Anyone suspicious who might be trying to listen in.
we're Inspire.
Just keep your eyes open.
Okay. They're always open.
How?
Even when I sleep.
How deep is this guy? Anyway,
Just smack him on the side of the back.
You'll hurt
I'm
yourself.
a little too scared. I'm scared.
Here, you can have my shoe.
All right. So you mentioned the consulate, and he does the same thing. He's like, well, what country?
Never mind.
Well, I mean, I want to help you, Ambassador. Like, look, our city is in trouble here.
Yes.
You came to me. Well, I just need to know who I'm talking to.
The Shadowlands?
Wait, that's real?
Yes.
I mean, everyone knows the Shadowlands is real, but and he's like gets quiet again. He realizes he's being a little bit too loud, and you feel like that's his vibe in general. Is he's just kind of a loud talker. He's big. His voice comes out big, but he quiets down again.
Sal is also looking around at this point.
Okay. Now, just so I understand, Wall, you didn't understand the implication that you should be looking for spies.
I generally am on lookout.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So both of you please roll.
Yeah. 18.
7.
Okay. Well, you're on the sevens today. Okay.
I gotta go hit a slot machine.
So seven's supposed to be a hard choice, though, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Tough choice.
So while you see a flowy gray robe disappear around a corner, and it wasn't like right next to you, but it did seem like in an unnecessary rush.
Okay.
And Sal, you kind of catch that as well, but to really like be able to confirm what you saw, you'd have to kind of rush ahead, and it's gonna the character doesn't know that this will happen, so this is a hard choice for the player. I like to make it in character when I can.
Sure.
But if you search forward to like see what you think you saw, you're gonna hit your real head on the sign that's hanging over the door. Or you can just let it go like, I don't know what that was. That's totally up to you.
Sal's going for it.
Okay.
Sal's in
Yeah.
the moment.
So we see this shorter gal surge ahead, like go to like look and see, like, did I see what I think I saw? And the sign just bang, it just like bangs
Yeah.
out of the way,
Yeah.
2 feet above her head. And Waldorf like takes a step back as you two,
yeah.
you know, like your attention obviously
Yeah.
drifts to this alleyway.
Wall's gonna say out loud, "It seems the fog is around."
Seriously? They usually don't come down here.
Have you a place where you're safe?
This has always been safe.
Another place.
Well, I mean, there's the office, there's
Any place they would not know to look for you.
Now, I want to inject something here. Sal took off after this
oh, you're
person.
like,
okay.
bolted.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
No.
So
All right.
I don't know if anyone.
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
make sure everyone is on the same page then. How are we feeling about that?
I'm fine.
I mean, are we chasing after Sal?
I just quickly want to say, have you a place where you're safe? Go there.
I'm here.
Then stay here.
Go find one side.
She's pissed. He just goes back inside.
Least subtle assassin known to man.
Speaking of subtle, the alleyway that you could see Sal dashing towards, a thin wisp of fog or mist, like maybe 6 inches off the ground, is kind of spilling out of that alleyway. And so you noticed that as well. It wasn't there a minute ago.
Mhm.
But it's also nighttime, and this is a city next to the sea, and I don't know whether that would catch your eye or not.
Mm.
Do you want to roll to see if it looks like suspicious mist?
Suspicious mist? Yes, of course.
Okay.
If you're going to put it like that, is it suspicious mist?
Suspicious?
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Mistus.
Susmistus. Susmist.
That is an 11. I had to confirm by touch, but
Oh,
yes.
yeah, because it's all worn out.
Well, yeah, because it's the
That's
color of the numbers is similar to a
Ah.
swirl inside the die.
Yeah. Well,
And
an
it was
11
that or a 1. So
an 11 is a full success. So, yeah, you could tell this is, and actually you work with mist. Actually, I should have let
Yep.
you roll with advantage. Actually, go ahead and roll with advantage just in case you get the 20. 7.
no, just 15.
Mm.
Okay. Well,
Still fine.
still very good roll. This is a magically impelled fog of some kind.
It's magically mislicious.
But it is not the same kind of fog that you cast, and I don't think its purpose would be immediately clear. So,
Sure.
however you want to treat that, but it's definitely a spell.
Okay.
We hear Vincent Price monologue. Darkness crawls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand.
Perfect. So you dash around the corner?
Yep.
Okay. Well. Oh, well, that's a 3. Tendrils grab at your feet as you're running, but maybe the tendrils are fooled by your image as well, and they don't get enough
Right.
purchase as you go running through. And it feels a little bit like your feet are like you're running through mud. You're not stuck.
Right.
Right? But it is grabbing at you. And if who's following?
I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see the mist like clinging to their feet as they proceed. You don't know if that's an effect, and Wall's not super versed in how magic works,
This
right?
is just mist.
Yeah. So it could be mistaken for the swirling of running through a low mist.
Mistaken.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to roll to. Wall really doesn't know much about magic at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then as we run through, I will also make an attack. That's a 17. So while the mist slows you down enough
Mm-hmm.
where you finally you get like 3 steps down this alleyway. And by the way, when you turn the alleyway, it is very much, fantasy city by the sea. It's all cobblestone, and there's a wooden barrel of something, and drain pipes and what have you.
Pickled herring.
Yeah, pickled herring, and
Tina's in it.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is it has really high quality glass windows, right? It's not the like frosted, like crappy glass of actual Renaissance period. So
Okay.
Well, and here I think there's probably also some little magical touches from the Sailstone.
Yeah. Like they have
Like
hot and cold running
Mm,
water,
right,
and
and-
it's
But
so
also,
they're
like, there's a
pipes
little
and-
things that kind of float, like signs.
Sure.
Like the really nicer stores will have a sign that just floats rather than on
the sign
chains.
you banged into is hanging above the post that it's attached to,
Mm.
right? It's like is
Suspended?
floating, I guess. That's not feels like the wrong word. It's
mean,
tethered to.
suspended?
Suspended.
It's tethered.
in midair.
It's what?
Suspended in midair.
Yes.
Mm.
But it's being held down by the like post that it's attached to.
So I actually hit the post. Boy,
Yeah, you bang the sign sort of
Womp,
flaps
womp,
back
womp,
and
womp,
forth a
womp.
little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, you make it about 3 steps down this alleyway. You can see Sal
Yeah.
about to turn a quarter
Yeah.
ahead of you, but the mist is like grabs your right foot and you stumble.
Mm-hmm.
Make a roll for me.
Okay. Hiya! 17.
Okay, you don't fall, but your foot is stuck. So
okay. Is this a magic-y thing, or does Wall feel like this is something physical that he can overcome?
It's I mean it is a magical
Okay.
resistance.
Got it.
But this magic is creating a like the mist is grabbing your foot.
Like the mist is having density.
Yes.
Okay.
So we
Got it.
could treat it like a physical thing if you're trying to line it up with a move.
I would like to tap my limit break. I'm going to pay 3 AP. I can briefly perform 1 feat of strength that was previously impossible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call this impossible, but it's certainly, you can pass through that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I kick my foot free,
Okay,
make it a point and show all the other tendrils
okay.
who's boss.
You're definitely breaking free. I actually want to roll. There's no such thing as a bad outcome on this roll, but I want to see how high you can get.
Oh, watch me get a bad outcome.
Well, I mean, a 1 is like nothing extra happens.
Okay.
So, like, whatever.
I've been rolling so many 1s this campaign. It's a 12.
Oh, that's a success. So you actually shatter the essence of the spell.
Okay.
You like break free of that so hard
Yes.
that the two of you. Yes.
How
Pooja?
hard was it, Jason?
It was the hardest.
Good.
Do you have something you want to share with the class?
Okay.
So you make it about 69 feet down
Yes.
the path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Do students watch this show?
I mean, what if they did? Whatever.
Isn't anything he wouldn't have made this joke in
I know.
class,
Yeah.
from
Okay.
what I understand.
Nah, it's fine.
I feel like I've learned something about you. Okay.
So the the spell essentially shatters, and the two of you who have a better eye for magic see Wall like get stuck and then just pile through. Like, that's not normally how you can break a spell. It's just run harder,
Sure.
but it worked.
Willpower is a powerful thing.
Yeah. So what are you two doing?
I'll go after him.
Okay.
Well, since everyone's going, there's just like, I don't know. And then he pauses and goes, wait a second, where's Portina?
Portina's going too, right?
Oh,
Did we leave
I was
Portina?
imagining Portina was staying at the hotel.
Oh, she's.
Oh, I thought she came out.
Oh, I
was
thought
at
she
the
came
bar.
with us too.
Okay.
Because we had that whole discussion about cats in the bar.
Yeah, because it was like it's kind of a not low class, but it's like a
Oh,
working
well then,
class
you
bar
could have
well then,
where
yes,
it's
of course.
okay.
We had a whole talk about that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
Brain,
I think she had
Works
just like
sometimes.
charged off with them,
Mm.
and I'm just using their mobility roll as her mobility roll. But yeah, she's hot on your heels.
Okay.
And she doesn't know where we're going. She's like, "Woo, we're running!"
Love running. They never let me run.
Yeah.
She's probably faster than all
and
of
she's
us, too.
like, skidding around corners and going up on the wall a little bit, and just cobblestone is not perfect for cat feet, but she can get in the nooks and crannies
Yeah.
sometimes. And
Wall shouts back, "There's sorcery!"
Noted.
That's all he knows.
That's good. I mean, it's literally true.
He's trying to communicate.
Do I still see the cultist, like, or have they escaped notice? Because I've tried to
You think
keep...
you can hear running feet?
Okay.
It's a little bit of a windy alleyway. Well, it's got to be an alleyway.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, you're pretty sure they're ahead of you, but you don't have visual yet.
Okay.
So your laser guided missile won't work.
And they're
Nice try, buddy.
Yeah. There's two people from the Glassmakers Union who are just walking
Yeah.
across the street.
Yeah.
with a big bang.
Yeah. This is the last pain we'll ever have to make, Thomas.
Finally done.
And then there's another set of people like carrying a big boxes of watermelon.
Yeah.
Yep.
My
Yeah.
cabbages!
Yeah.
Some boxes of pigeons.
Yep.
somewhere.
No, it's nighttime. There's no one else about. At least not yet.
Caged chickens. There could
Caged-
still
Yeah.
be
Caged
chickens
chickens. Yeah.
outside the door. Of
We've
some
got
place.
Sal and Portina in the lead. We've got Wall hot on their heels. Then Lucky
Lovely.
heading out. So Lucky, you get to just run through. This mist is like breaking away. You can see it as a broken magic spell, and you're right
I'm
with
behind him,
Lucky,
yeah.
right? So yeah, the two of you are catching up, and you don't have any impediment to run through because Wall broke it.
Thanks, Wall.
Choo choo.
Choo choo, you two. All right, so Sal, with you in the lead,
Mhm.
I want to treat this like an old-fashioned. So D&D 4th edition had these skill challenges,
Yeah.
which I think is just a fun way to structure a like ongoing running, like a race or something like that. So we're gonna do it as you need 4 successes before we get 3 hard choices or worse.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a hard choice will come with an opportunity to like make it not count, but otherwise a failure is
Cool.
a fail, and a 1 will count as 2 fails,
Cool.
and a 20 counts as 2 successes.
Nice.
So we need 4 successes before 3 fails.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All
Do
right.
you want to
So
go in order of?
yeah, let's go in running order. Sal, what form of your expertise is allowing you to catch up to this person in the I don't think of Sal as a long distance runner. But
No, but I have a long, powerful stride.
you do.
And
Yeah.
and also I'm very dense, so small obstacles aren't going to get in my way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm.
So just your raw physicality.
Yep.
And you don't have a traditional sense of stamina either, I would
Right.
think. So I think that matters. So okay, that's great. Like in D&D, you would pick a skill that you're rolling for,
Right.
and we don't have that here, so that's fine.
18.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's in the success column. I make my little chart here. Success, fail, 1 success. Wall.
Yeah.
What aspect of your skill set is coming into play here?
We often had to drill how to charge and storm enemy positions, which means literally running uphill in armor. So
Mhm. Watching
big-
out for pitfalls.
yeah, big
and-
burst of speed. It's not like marathon. It's get there fast and hard, and
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm leading into.
Sure.
It's a 14.
Okay, that's a success. See, this is easy. How could it go wrong?
Uh-oh.
Lucky?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Rude.
Lucky's a cat. She should be able to
Yeah,
do
Lucky
this
is
easily.
taking a page from Portina's book.
Okay, so focusing on agility,
Mhm.
doing a little bit of parkour.
Yeah.
You do have to shout parkour if you're doing
Parkour.
it. So
And Portina
it
will
could
imitate
impact your stealth,
Parkour.
but you're not trying to sneak really, right?
Nah, but also I'm not gonna shout parkour, mostly because
I mean, legally you have to.
you. Maybe just whisper.
Otherwise, it's
mostly,
entrapment.
mostly because I have like a very serious problem with those books at this point. But it's fine. But I'm just going to like it's like zoomies.
Mm.
Oh,
So
zoomies.
maybe-
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Nice.
Okay.
Ears.
Let's roll a die.
Get all owl face about it.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen the cat pictures of the transposed? It's a nat 20.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, well
that counts
then-
as 2.
Yeah, we're done. That's 4
Woohoo!
successes with no failures.
Because I'm the least athletic of all.
Let's have
My
what was
only
gonna
nat 20
happen.
in this
Okay.
campaign.
I just want to know if you get there and fall on your ass or
Okay.
not.
My
I
con-
hope.
Contribution is like, I'm just a young adult male elf, therefore naturally light. That was 15.
Nice.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you actually get there on your feet
Yes.
and
I don't do any fancy parkour or anything. I just
all right. So I think with Sal and Wall hot on their heels, they are following them through a section, and Lucky, you see a spot that you could actually go up and over a balcony catwalk.
Actually,
Oh,
I'm going to take a running leap and like use one of these conveniently placed crates on the side of the alleyway
yes.
and kick off of it and then propel forward off of Wall's shoulder.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Is this something we've done before?
probably.
yeah,
Because I feel like I would like give you an extra boost.
Sure.
yeah. You
Yeah,
instinctively
yeah.
know, like, oh, I know what's about to
Oh my
happen.
God.
Boom.
I can feel this. Oh, they're digging it. The claws are digging
Yep.
it.
Put your shoulder
Yep.
into it,
Yep.
and yeah. So you manage to, leap up off the wall and sort of sideswipe into this person in the cloak, and you tackle them. So you actually get to face them down. And the success of this skill challenge is that you get to face them alone, but they do roll to their feet, pulling weapons. And they've got 2 like daggers.
They do the hero landing pose, the 3-point pose.
No, they're not quite that composed.
Okay.
Y'all did so well. I have
Got
to
it.
give them a kind of
Okay.
a disadvantage on this.
Cool.
They're gonna have disadvantage on their first attack.
Cool.
Actually, no. They've got a knife, and they've got their other hand comes up almost in a like
Like a
Doctor
shield.
Strange kind of
Ah.
like
Energy
light
shield.
energy disc of some kind. It's just a little bit bigger than their hand, but they've got their knife and whatever this thing's supposed to do. I don't think it's magic that any of you would be familiar with, but well, actually, Third, you've got kind of a wizard background. Why don't you roll to identify magic?
That's actually part of
Sense
a
magic?
skill
This
that
is
I
the,
can
yes,
spend.
I meant that. That's yes. I
Okay,
was trying
yes.
to trigger your sense magic ability.
I sense some magic from
Yes.
over there. Huge princess.
Yep, definitely magic.
Yep.
Please be sure.
It's magic, all
That's
right.
magic for
Well, I'm
sure,
gonna
y'all.
spend 2 AP to figure out what it is. All right. Write this down.
You don't have to spend it if you want. I mean, just if you want to know more,
I kind of
like to know
don't. I'd
more?
rather just react to it.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it.
Okay, but
Then-
it's
I'm
magic
just
for
like,
sure.
oh, hey, magic. What?
Them
Yeah.
magic boys is at it again.
Oh no. Okay. So let's I don't think I get to go first either. Like y'all perfect.
I feel like
You're like hold X now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
We
That
know
was,
this.
We Mario
Circle
Partied
goes
the
like,
heck
ping.
out of this.
yeah.
Ping.
Yeah.
Perfectly. I feel like you go first because you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
you did
launched
the
Or
tackle,
probably
so-
in order. So like you, then Sal, then you, then me.
That sounds good.
Okay. I thought you were going to do a identify magic thing.
No. I
Okay, she
decided,
did-
I decided
decided
not
not
to.
to.
It's
Didn't
not,
wanna spend
it's
the
not worth
points.
the AP.
Oh, okay.
We'll see it when
Yet.
he uses it. Yet. Might need
Um,
my AP for other things.
You know what? Is it okay since we don't have initiative in this? I was feeling like let's go Lucky, then the cultist, and then
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
they don't go
Sounds
dead
like so.
fast.
Oh yeah.
Makes
good
sense.
point.
Just
Okay.
in like game balance
That
terms,
makes
No,
it's
totally-
like they're
totally
gonna get clobbered.
No, we all get to hit him twice.
I mean, your advantage is that you got him solo, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Cool.
But
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay.
Lucky,
I'm going to reach out.
unless Lucky one shots my guy.
Not spending that much AP on this dude.
Okay.
I'm going to corrupt.
Ooh.
So it is a touch attack, but it's 0 AP. 11.
Ooh.
Okay.
Tough
that's-
choice.
That's a success.
Oh no, that's a
It's a
success.
success.
Yeah. Yeah. So is this your like dark hand thing?
Yes,
or...
that is my dark hand.
Yeah.
I think like just the way to flavor this would be like, so I tackle them and I reach as they get up with this dagger, I reach inside to that arm and I instinctively go for the same arm that the Birdman had the tattoo on.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that was the right hand, I think. I don't remember.
And like grasp the forearm where I would assume the tattoo is.
Interesting.
And necrotize it.
Oh,
Mm.
actually, is it okay if we say it's the left hand?
I always pictured it as the left anyway.
Yeah, it was on
It's
the
also
left
the magic
forearm,
disc, yeah.
which is also where this guy's magic disc is. So
Mm.
you have to reach past the magic disc, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so I grab it and necrotize.
Okay. How much damage does that do?
1 now,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 after on the next turn. And
So it's like a layaway plan.
it is, but
Mm.
also it's because like it's a withering thing.
Mm.
So.
Sure. Is there any like extra stuff
Uh,
I should?
Affected creatures can only recover these hit points with the restore spell.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So this is
They can't heal.
actually like draining life out of this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. As you're up close, you can see this is not the same lizard person you met earlier. There's a little different coloring in their scales and a little different shape of the face, but similar. Like they're the same
Mm.
species, right? Is that the right
Same
word
type?
to use in this? Like I don't know.
Same being type.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Can do it uncomfortable. It's a lizard person. It's not the same lizard person. I think we're good.
yeah,
Just
that's
saying,
good.
like,
Yeah.
just like all the mer people look different, all the lizard people look different.
Yeah, yeah. So the so this person is you see the like some of the scales on their arm where you feel like you push their
Mm.
sleeve up to grab their arm, and you just see some of the scales like flaking away, and looks like it hurts
Mm.
real bad. So then he's gonna do a thing. He has to roll. They have to roll disadvantage. I guess they're just gonna try to do a thing to Lucky. Let's see what we roll. Well, okay, I got an 18 and an 8. So we're gonna go with the 8, which is tough choice. Okay, I think the tough choice is either make an attack or try to get free from your grasp. And I think they're just gonna attack. Like they think they can weather this. They might be wrong. But go ahead and take 2 damage. Unless you have armor.
Don't.
Okay.
Because this was a little bit of a surprise thing, so.
That's fine. Then who was gonna go next?
Sal.
then
Sal.
Robin.
All right, and incorporate Portina into your moves if you want, like that. However you want to coordinate that, or I can roll for her if you want.
Nat 20.
Okay. I see this cultist stab my friend,
Mhm.
and
Because
Sal.
she grabs their arm,
Right.
and then with their free hand, they like get this knife in her shoulder or something.
Yeah. And
If we don't mind, like, if you do it as like a slash and I let go.
Well, their choice was get free of your grasp or
Oh,
stab
oh,
you.
yeah, you're
They
right,
didn't
you're
get
right.
to do both, so we're like slash across the shoulder or
Yeah, sure.
or maybe you're like a defensive wound as
Yeah,
you like block
like
it.
that.
Yeah, okay.
just not stabbed in the side again.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like trying to get a like a bracer up in the way and it like got past your bracer, whatever it
We go through so many cummerbunds.
is. But they're still grabbing onto her arm.
Okay. So initially,
Or she's got their arm.
initially Sal was going to try and like just stop this person, but having seen that they are slashing at Lucky, Sal, as they run, you see forming in their hand like a miniature harpoon
Oh,
like they use, and I throw that.
awesome.
And this is a new ability that I just picked up called Thorn.
Nice.
And I am coloring it as, instead of being a plant thorn, it is these mini harpoons
Yeah.
that I take up. And it's 0 AP. You open your palm, conjuring a poisonous thorn that you shoot in a straight line towards a nearby target, creature, or object. The thorn hits for 2 HP.
Okay,
It is in a roll because on a 20, there is a special effect,
sure.
which is what I just got.
You got a net 20?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome.
Oh
All right,
yes.
what's your special effect?
The thorn's poison is amplified. You hit an organic target, its skin becomes swollen, it cannot see beyond its reach, and it can't speak or cast spells until the end of its next turn.
Holy moly! So
Hell
this
yeah.
person's allergic to your
Yeah.
thorn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So whether like strikes in the upper chest, maybe they are like trying to flail away from you at this point, Lucky, as this thorn stabs into them, or harpoon.
Yep.
And you see through the the hood goes back, and their scaled neck, like the scales are going black up the side of their neck, as they're like black and like peeling off, and the skin's really raw underneath, and it's just bad news, right? It may even be like, you can hang on if you want, but it's like, ugh. It's like
It's gross.
yucky.
Okay.
So a little grossed
Okay.
out, but you hang on, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've also never seen Sal do this, so it's like a
Mm.
little. Is this something Sal could always do and they didn't know?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. You
I
just-
think I recognize that
in a
harpoon.
stressful moment. Yeah,
I'm like, oh, hey.
yeah, because you've used harpoons before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never just like pulled one out of the air,
Yeah.
Mm.
like magic harpoon, go.
I think this was sort of
I have a
unlocked.
harpoon. No, you don't. You didn't say you have it.
I think this is also something that was I think it was something that was unlocked
Okay.
with the tree speaking.
Oh yeah, your tree pose.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so then was it gonna be a wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do I see?
So you stopped a little bit short to throw this, right?
Yeah.
But basically at point blank.
Yeah.
So we see this cultist lizard person. Their hood is fallen back. Their sleeves are pushed up for the most part.
Mm.
They've still got a hold of this long dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever this disc of light is sort of guttering and looking
Right.
like it's gonna go out. It's sort
Right.
of like a flickering. They're losing their focus on that. But Lucky has a hold of that forearm, that their left forearm where that magic disc is, and they are now just like gasping, and this harpoon in their upper chest is like pretty painful.
Yeah. Are they basically incapacitated, or is there still fight in this?
It seems like there's fight, but it's a little hard to tell.
Okay. Okay.
Like, we don't know how bad this like anaphylaxis is gonna get.
So Walt can't see how many HP this enemy has. Like, I can't
No.
see their health bar.
No.
Okay.
hidden.
All right. Well,
Two tiny question marks.
Yeah,
I will.
but it's not a skull either. So
I mean, but we don't necessarily need to kill them. Could save them
I
the question.
just want. Yeah. I'm gonna
I'm gonna ask.
use my disarm. I pay 1 AP. I just straight up. They don't have their weapon anymore.
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
easy peasy.
Yeah.
They were barely hanging on to it.
It's my weapon now.
I would say I'll give you the choice of rolling for it instead of paying the AP.
I'll pay the AP.
And roll with
I'll pay.
advantage.
You're temperous.
Let's do it.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, that's a success.
There we
See,
go.
what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Easy
Get
peasy.
me to say yes a bunch of times early. I see what you do.
I like to make deals.
Yeah, I disarmed them.
Okay. Yeah. So they drop their knife. Does that do damage as well?
I disarmed them, and if I fail, something bad happens. But
Oh, okay.
I disarmed them, and the weapon is mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you just take the knife away
Yep,
from them.
yep.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. You have this long. I mean, it's like a 12-inch blade,
Mm.
aside from the handle, right?
Mhm.
Is it
Whatever.
wavy? You know, because
No,
the
it's just-
blades always have.
no,
Oh,
it's
he's
just
not
Not
high
a
enough.
grist knife.
He's not high enough level.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Just a
that
letter
one
opener.
person had a curvy knife. Like maybe that's the town they were from. Who knows? But
Got it.
yeah, this one's just got like it's a tiny sword basically.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Thirdo.
When he approaches, he asks the group, "You want him alive?" For questioning.
Yeah.
All right, hang on, and he'll kick that little short sword aside, and he pulls out the blue chalk.
Oh, Wall's got that.
It's
yeah.
my
okay,
sword now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. And he's gonna put the chalk on the ground and start drawing a circle around him and you. So this might feel a little weird, and when it opens, shoom, you're gonna be back on the ship.
Okay.
Can I land on top of him?
Well, the thing is, gravity would do this because
Yeah,
you're going down, but
Move
then
down and then
you're gonna be
fall
vertical.
out into the wall.
Portal.
you fall
portal
portal
rules.
physics.
Cultist cushion.
Yeah.
Cultist cushion, absolutely.
Can I? So what happens with Portina is like when you're running with a cat, and then you stop, but the cat doesn't stop the game, and Portina like goes past
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
to like the next turn, and then looks back to see if we're still running.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she skids.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we're going this way now. We're going in a hole. Well, all right. Looking before leaping is also not necessarily a cat trait. I can make it. That's
It'll be-
said every cat.
Except she like jumps down, hits the wall.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
Her fur's real big.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're back
She,
on the ship.
she hisses at the cultists because it's obviously the cultist's fault.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're back on the ship.
And the portal will close.
The
shortly.
cultist
Oh,
is.
wait, I'm sorry. Were we all hopping through that portal because we didn't get the information from Waldorf?
We can always go back. This is to secure this guy for now.
Okay.
I mean, you don't
I
have
mean,
to
he-
jump through. I drew it around. It would be you and the cultist and maybe Wall if he was
Yeah.
directly there. So we drew a circle.
I was grabbing that dagger.
And if you weren't, so you have the choice to jump in or not. As
But we
do
also
I.
know where Waldorf is going to
Yeah,
be. For
we
us
can go
anyway.
back and get him.
That's true.
I'm not, but I think Portina does jump through.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because it's just, hey, look.
Because
what we're doing.
hey, we're all
Yeah.
jumping down this thing.
Okay.
Do you tell us, or do you let us know that you're staying behind?
I call through the portal. I'm going to keep an eye on Waldorf.
Okay. Meet you back
It
there.
also wouldn't hurt if you wanted to like scuff out the chalk on this side,
Mm.
so it's not obvious where everyone went.
Right.
True. It's
Yeah.
also only up for a minute though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's kind of.
I like to think it leaves a chalk residue.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why not? It's a good idea.
Chalky.
Yeah.
Some water would take care of that.
Yep. Easy peasy.
Like all this mist that apparently is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's damp out.
Yeah.
All right. So you stay behind while you're going through.
Yeah, I'm going
You have
through.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's handle this scene on the ship here, where we come out in a tumble. The cultist, I think, just from the impact, is just like their spell goes out. They are on their back, gasping for air. You know, there's like swelling and there's all this like bad news going on. And they are well and truly out of the fight at this point. So what do you want to do?
Do you fear death?
They're pretty much gasping for their life. Like I don't think they're in conversation mode.
Mm-hmm.
They're like eyes are wide and they're looking right, like trying to.
I'm
like,
gonna
just
see if there's
gesturing at
a-
their throat and yeah.
I'll get the rope.
Yeah, if you get the rope, and
hold
I
it-
can
you
see if
hold him
there's a
down.
potion that maybe like in Doc's stuff.
Oh yeah.
Can I call on Doc at
Well,
this
let's
point?
not be too hasty to give him one of our healing potions. Wink, wink.
And he's
I
like
mean,
gasping and like gesturing at you
Will
like.
you cooperate if we give you a healing potion? Okay, you get the potion, I'll get the rope,
Um.
etc.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Doc shows up. She's having this weird mode where you can see her but you can't hear her for some reason, and so she's like explaining, and then you say like I can't hear you. I assume. And so she just looks exasperated and points at the book that she left for you and is trying to get you to turn to the right page. So I'm going to have her roll a die
Okay.
to see if this guy dies while you're looking for something.
Great. It's a 12.
Okay, that's a success. Yeah. Do you find the epi potion?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of something.
The epi
earlier.
dart.
Yeah.
The potion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The epi quill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is a quill. There's a quill designed to, if you spike it into somebody who's having some sort of reaction like this, it draws
Mm.
it out like ink. And it is a quill pen that you turn to the right page, and there's this feather pen stuck in the book. So
That would have been easier to find. Okay.
Mm.
It's healing by stabbing. Definitely something I've done before.
yes. So yeah, you go rushing back in there, stab take the harpoon out, put this in its place.
Knife of healing.
Yeah, and what does your
Give third bad
poison look
flashbacks.
like? Is it like glowing green or yellow, or like what does your poison look like?
I think that it looks like tar.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay, so
Yeah.
black goo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Viscous black goo.
yeah. So it actually does look like a pen drawing ink, but it's too thick and too slow, and it's like pulls up into the pen, and the pen gets like weirdly heavy. But you pull the poison out of this guy, and it works, and they just kind of collapse onto the floor of the. I think we were in the cargo area. Was the portal? Portal went to cargo
Something like
area.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah. At this point, Tarina's coming in from the other. The commotion. It's like, everybody okay in here? Whoa, who the hell is that?
Cultist. Just help me tie him up.
I could tell from the robes.
Well, we'll get more information in a moment. Help me with these knots.
Okay. Do we need to be gentle with this one? Okay. She gets some very expert knots together very quickly.
I'm not surprised. She's been on a ship for a while. I
Yeah.
think she would know some good knots.
Maybe some extracurricular knots.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That was
actually.
the
The kind
vibe.
of thing you do when you're bored on the boat.
Ship, ship, ship. And yeah. Anyway, the guy's tied up. And tied to a post in the cargo hold. So Danny's on board as well.
We got Danny, we got Koto, we
Yeah.
got Mage Harper, we
Yep.
got
Yeah.
Not everybody. Full cast.
Yeah. So they're around. They're kind of like listening outside, like trying not to crowd the room. Tarina's just here, right? Like, all right, let's go. What are we gonna? We need a finger. Like, what are we doing here? She's a little bit scary sometimes, like to me as well.
She's a little too excited
Yeah.
in the moment.
But what do y'all want to do?
I just gotta know which knife to get.
What?
I mean, you did such a good job with the.
Healing potion, huh? Will you what?
So you get to question him.
But you know more about what's going on. Fine.
You know
back me.
everything I know.
Fine.
Who are you people?
We're the ones who just kicked your ass.
Oh,
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's just like a.
Look, we know that you're from this misty cult, and it's about time that we put your shenanigans to an
Yeah.
end.
I bet you're from the Dark Consulate. Your evil will be stopped.
There's nothing evil about that consulate. Death is a natural part of the cycle.
No one has to die.
Everything dies. Like nobody wants to die. I understand that, but after walking around with these folks, I've come to the understanding that it is a necessary part of our cycle.
They just want to keep the power for themselves.
They?
The consulate, they hoard it.
But the people from the continent aren't using it to be eternal.
Sure they are. They live forever in the Shadowlands.
Yeah, in the Shadowlands, not in our realm.
Well, they
I mean-
come and go.
I mean, all spirits are eternal in the Shadowlands, right? Yeah.
They can get out. He doesn't gesture with his arms, I guess, but he like nods at.
Not dead.
His,
Not dead.
his tongue.
Not actually living forever either.
So you claim.
Not actually living forever. When my time comes, I shall die. I shall go into the Shadowlands as a spirit, as we all do.
Yeah, I bet everyone would just die if they had a choice not to.
Probably not, but like, this world would be pretty shitty if nothing died.
Who's telling you this? Who's putting these ideas
It's
in
an
your head?
obvious truth.
That's usually what people following a cult say.
How long would you like to live?
I'll live forever.
I'm willing to bet you won't survive this night if you don't start telling us what we want to know.
He's very serious.
They'll find me. They'll bring me back
Back to...
life.
Like, Nizen?
Yeah, he showed how.
Were you there when it happened?
Well, no, but people saw it. I've seen stuff.
What have you seen?
Well, the healing light, the restorative powers. I saw a woman grow her arm back.
It is kind of impressive. Huh?
I mean, it is, but like,
At what cost?
talk to that.
Yeah. That's not really any kind of divine power. A lot of magical healers can do things like that. Sounds to me like someone is performing magic that is more common in this world than you might know, but telling you that it's something else. Telling you that it's something divine and eternal.
I've felt it in my heart.
We've all made that
Both of
mistake
them.
at some point.
Okay, so third, if you want to roll, like try to break through to this guy, or if you have a move
think
that you
that-
want to use, some version of "Don't you know who I am?" or
Looking at what I
some way to
rolled.
like.
I'm gonna go with Cosmopolitan.
Okay,
So basically, I'm gonna kind of like mimic his way of speaking and like his posture. So he gets the vibe that like I'm like him. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
some mirroring.
yeah, that technique. That's a 2.
Mm.
Oh,
no.
Mm.
it is
We all have
so
our one
hard
better.
to mirror this guy. It's so weird.
This guy's making sense.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to mirror him because he's tied up.
Well, but
His posture is this.
It's not that intimidating. Honestly.
But yeah, you're really struggling getting through to this guy, and he seems very devout in this belief system, even though he can't explain how it all works. He knows some basic magic, which is what he was trying to use earlier, and learned it through. He calls it the church, right? He doesn't call it a cult. Church of the Grey Mist.
It's a cult.
Look, just because we follow a charismatic leader who teaches us everything we need to know.
Promises eternal life
Yeah.
after death. Wait.
No, there's no death. We skip that part.
Yes. It's just. I'm sorry, but it's not possible.
Even your powers are a cult. Sorry, I'm not there. I'm at the bar getting drunk.
Even your powers are a cult.
Um,
Oh, that's fucking weird.
so, you two see, Third's having trouble getting through to this guy. He is just very, well, his programming is strong. So,
I'm being the rational good cop. So,
Yeah, backup is definitely a wall choice.
Wall is gonna just lean down. If you could bring someone back, who would you bring? If you could spare them the fate of death.
my brother.
Brother. Tell me about your brother. When did you lose him?
He had a broken leg that went bad when we were kids.
You miss him.
Yeah.
He was a good brother to you.
Yeah.
Soul Gaze, I'm gonna pay 1 AP.
Oh.
Thank you for letting me get close. I have to roll.
Falling for his ship, soul gaze.
15. So I learned their ideal and their flaw. We don't use the ideal and
Sure.
flaw mechanic, but like, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good insight.
Yeah. So, you learn he is well and truly a true believer.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And you also. I'm just going to use he him. Just to. That's how he thinks of himself.
Mhm.
So, he's a true believer. His heart was broken when he lost his brother, but he's not been with the church that long. It's been like a few months. And he was with the church before they got big in Spire. And I'm just giving you this as part of the like ideal aspect of this, is that he's a believer and was brought in as part of the like the growth of the church. They brought in a bunch of people to show the church was growing. I'm using air quotes around that to inflate, and then that made it more appealing to locals. People are like, "Wow, the church is really growing. They must have something."
Got it.
I'll attend and you know attend an informational meeting and
timeshares. Tell me more.
Yeah. You say you can tell me about my personality? Interesting. Sorry.
Here, hold these rocks.
Market opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. So
NFT.
yeah.
Oh.
Dancing.
Ooh.
Fair enough. All right. So you have a real good sense of where this guy's coming from. He is a true believer. He thinks, if he rises in the ranks enough, he could bring his brother back to life, and that seems like a right and good thing to do.
Sure. I also get to know a flaw.
Yeah.
What's the crack in the logic here?
Yeah, let's say that the brother, their mom was like I don't think the consulate has like devout believers. Like there's no church of the consulate or anything. But their mom was somebody who spoke fondly of the afterlife, right? So they grew up with this idea of like, well, yeah, your dad is with your grandparents now, and you'll get to see him again. So don't worry about that. It was sad when their dad passed, but this was like part of how they were raised was, you will get to go to the Shadowlands someday and see them again. So, that's deep in there, right? That like little bit of doubt that like maybe that is the right way for things to be.
I imagine it hurt your brother to be parted from you, to be parted from family. Would you visit that pain on him again, tearing him away from your father, your mother?
No, none of that's who knows what they're all being made to do over there. Just
I know.
Being forced to work for the consulate.
I look over to Lucky.
Ambassadors aren't even allowed to remember their real lives.
That is by choice, and I remember my life fully.
I remember my life. We remember our loved ones.
You're an ambassador?
I am.
That's prove it. And now I just want to add through your soul gaze aspect, like him asking you to prove it is a crack in the armor. Right. Like his answer like a bit ago would have been just bullshit. That's you're lying. And he's still being belligerent, but this is the first scale gone.
I'm gonna look over to Lucky and I'm gonna gesture like I'm willing to unmask if you don't want to say the consulate.
I mean, we already said the consulate.
Yeah,
he knows
this
I'm an ambassador.
Right.
It's like he assumes that's like you're claiming to be
Right.
agents of the consulate. So,
And I'm going to say, well, behold, that we are all more than the mortal coils that we embody. I'm going to become a wraith.
Oh God. Okay. I'm just gonna roll
Doesn't faint
to
from
see.
horror.
Yeah, faint, pee my pants.
You
Well, that's
asked me to
fine.
prove it.
No, that's no, that's an 8. That's an 8. That's hard choice is gonna be the pee the pants version of
Oops.
yeah. So believes you real hard.
Yeah.
And now just thinks he's in enemy hands, right? So, yeah, he actually does piss himself. If that's not a
Yep.
line for anybody. And although I will say ahead of time, like torture is a line for me.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not something I want to have in the game, even off screen.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, same.
So, but having this guy tied up is fine with me. That's you already like got poison out of him, so like.
But
Good.
also, like, and I come back to it, it's like, but we are more than just these mortal coils, and your church is not the only. Your church are not the only ones who can heal. And I'm going to reach out, and I'll spend that 1 AP to mend him.
Oh. Oh shit. Wow.
Healing is also part of nature.
Well, hold on. Destination recalculating. You broke your GM.
Do you need to,
Oops!
per Happy Jack's longtime advice, do you need to go to the bathroom? Call a bio break?
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's 8:55.
Oh, it is.
It is.
No, but I love moments like this of like, what would this guy do if you healed him? Like that never occurred to me to think about, and I think like he is well and truly, like spirit broken, like doesn't know which way is up, is just in like spiritual free fall right now, and that's what we'll be able to come back to, like you solved my wayward cultist puzzle that I didn't know was a puzzle until you broke it. That's cool.
Somewhere in the bar, you hear, "Carry on my wayward cultist." There'll be peace when you are deprogrammed.
But yeah, we're gonna have I'm gonna have to come up with a lizard person name, and we'll be able to address that next time. But thank you everyone for joining us. This has been episode 13, the penultimate episode of the Castoffs. Let me make sure I do this the right way around. Give me left notes so I do it right.
Thanks, Jimmy.
On top of our recorded feeds, we do this live feed on Twitch, and it would not work if we didn't have the moderators that we have. Honest to God, like it's on my piece of paper to remind me to say this, but I believe it with all my heart. I have mods on my channel. Like it is just so hard to do when you don't have mods. So thank you to our mods. Thank you to everybody on Patreon who supports the show. There are opportunities there. You can check out some back issues of things that you might want to check out, and also just to support the show. So lots of fun stuff to go on there. You can also check out our stuff if you go to happyjacks.org/discord. You can hop on our Discord server and chat with us there, talk about the show, ask questions, whatever you like. Just make sure to @ me if the question is directed for me, because I have all my notifications off. So I want to hear your question. So let's go this way this time. Nick?
Hey everyone, I'm Nick. I played Sal today, and you can find me if you want using card this side, which I don't remember exactly what it is. sungrowler.card with 2 R's.co, and that'll give you access to clicking on my Twitter or my Instagram feed. Don't follow me on Instagram. I don't post anything there.
Hi, I am Pooja, and I've been playing Lucky Joshi, and, alternating terror and benevolent angel, apparently.
I love it. Angel of Death.
And you can find me playing other APs on the 12-Sided Stories podcast, on the YouTube channel of It's Probably Okay Games, and, elsewhere on the internets. Check it out at forgottensaves.card.co.
Arr.
Hi, I'm Courtney. What do I do on the internet? Sometimes I play the hurdy-gurdy for real, which is why it's become a running gag.
Yep.
And if you go to my card, which is courtneycraft.card.co, it'll take you to my YouTube channel where I really need to post more, and I should really try this TikTok thing all the kids are doing. And make hurdy-gurdy TikToks. Kids in your internet.
Love it.
Ticks and your talks.
Purdy talk.
Get off my Internet Explorer.
Ooh. That one hurt.
Dora the Internet Explorer.
Oh.
You're on
Oh.
fire. It's nice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How do I follow that? Like this. Hi, I'm Joe. You can find me at JOEKOU at card CARRD.co. I just want to plug the anime Spy Family. I don't watch anime. Somebody turned me on to it. I love Spy Family, the anime. It is giving me so much serotonin at a time when I really need it. It's wholesome. It's family. The character is super, super cute. So if that's something you're needing, highly recommend Spy Family. You can also check me out here on an upcoming Happy Jacks production that will be dropped soon.
Ooh, exciting.
Stay tuned.
So
Excellent.
I have a question for the rest of the table, because some of us are also like Spy Family. So I get a thumbs up. You got a thumbs up.
Oh,
2
what?
thumbs up for Spy X Family.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Spy
Oh,
Family.
it's on Hulu. You should check it
I
out.
was-
I made a note.
Very good. Very
I was
cute.
hoping we'd have one more, so we could have 4 out of 5. Heck,
Ah.
You can have a double feature night where you watch Labyrinth, and then you
Yeah.
watch Spy X
There you
Family,
go.
Yeah, and then we can be friends.
Well, we'll see.
Finally.
and then we all go out to karaoke.
then we all
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
As a reminder, my name is Jason. You can find my stuff at probablyokgames.card.co. And you will also see that my RPG is coming out next month. Demigods. If you go to demigodspbta.com, you can see updates there, sign up for
So
my
good.
newsletter, etc. And yeah, the PDF of the book is existing in December of 2022. Come hell or high water.
Nice.
It is going.
Yes.
I'm setting up a spot on Drive-Thru RPG. So Kickstarter backers will get it first, and then I'll make it available to everyone else. So
Awesome.
very excited that this
Woohoo!
is happening.
Yay.
So.
Yes.
And I'm only 3 years late. So,
There was a
doing
pandemic.
fine.
Time
Yeah.
just doesn't even mean
Those,
anything.
those 2 years don't actually count.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do kind of
Yeah.
feel that way. It was a very difficult time in my actual real life. So,
Mm.
here we are. What else was I going to say? Yeah, oh, so if you follow me on Twitch as well, it's probably okay. I stream there Wednesdays and Fridays. So that's what I'm up to. And I also wanted to mention the thing I left out about the Patreon. The other main thing that lets us be is we are ad-free and independent. We don't have to do the ads. That is what Patreon lets us do. But even more so than any like Twitch subscribes or anything like that, which we appreciate. But the Patreon is what gets us new microphones and keeps the lights on. Like honestly, Kimmy does a lot of that just out of pocket, and so Patreon sort of pays her back a little bit. So if you want to support the show, that's honestly the best way. So so we can keep doing this stuff for us. We are going to be back next week with the finale of Castoffs right here, 6 p.m. Saturday the 20.
26th.
Sure,
That's fine.
I trust Pooja.
Just watch the podcast
Don't.
later.
That was a mistake. Rookie mistake.
Oh, it is. It's the 26th because today is the 19th, and I can do math. So, join us live or later. Your only 2 options to watch the show.
Watch it early.
And until then,
If you do watch it early, let me know what happens.
Yeah, pre-watch it.
yeah, I would also
And then
like
send us the script.
give me a list of
I'll
all
need
the
my lines.
Yeah.
all the NPC names, please. would be very helpful to me. Although I did okay today.
You
I
did.
pulled
You
some
done
names
well.
out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
did it.
It worked.
Fantastic.
Okay. Which seems like a pretty basic GM skill. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. Take care. We'll see you next time.
All right, we're
Bye.
going to Patreons.